made me think of, because you said no for a Rogers statue. I tend to agree with you. I disagree that that's the way it should be, but isn't that completely hypocritical? We're talking about all-time greats of their franchise, bringing a championship, and being the best player in the league MVP-wise, and yet there's no doubt in our minds that Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to have a monster statue, and there's a lot of skepticism whether or not Aaron Rodgers should even have one.
So a couple of things are at work here, right? The first one, of course, is length of time between championships, right? Brett Favre, for example, 29 years since the last Lombardi-era championship, he leads the Packers to the Super Bowl 31 title. 14 years, half the time, between the championship that Favre wins and the championship that Rodgers wins, right? Also, you didn't wander in the darkness and wilderness for many years like the 70s and 80s before Favre. You did that. You didn't do that with Rodgers. You won a bunch of games. You had a bunch of playoff wins, but you didn't win the big one, which is now what Rodgers is criticized for. Secondly, until the allegations, because I don't want to get us sued, even though he says he loves us, until the allegations about misappropriation of welfare funds, Brett Favre was back to being beloved Brett Favre. Regardless of what happened the summer of 2008, he was on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every week. Like, he was back to, we love the old gunslinger, and we want to buy his copper fits and everything else. Had that latest scenario not unfolded, and look, let's be honest, there are still Packers fans and Favre fans who love him regardless of these allegations. But Aaron Rodgers is not that beloved. So if you took a Packers fan poll on who you should put up a statue of today, I'm afraid that even with the allegations about the money in Mississippi, I'm afraid Favre still wins if you can only choose one.
This is a fabulous poll idea. Fabulous poll idea, because we can agree both strictly from their playing.
Football accomplishments.
I'm taking all the other stuff out of it for their impact on this organization and for life as a Green Bay Packer fan. They both deserve statues in a big way. As a matter of fact, I think you should do a three-pronged Star Favre Rodgers statue row of quarterbacks out in that parking lot, which there's not even going to be parking anymore because everything's getting built. So there should be like a monument park at Yankee Stadium. There should be a monument park out there.
Totally agree. Love the idea.
And all three of these young men and older men need to have statues. But if you had to commission one, who's winning that battle right now? I don't know the answer. I don't know how this polling would go, because I was talking to a couple people last night after I got this idea, and they said Giannis, it would be a Canyon-esque poll. We all agree, right?
It would be.
There's no reason to even.
Yeah, we're not putting him in this poll.
Because Giannis is beloved. There's a couple of prongs, as you mentioned. Do Bucks fans, are we going to be really bummed if Giannis' career ends and he only has one? I honestly don't think that's the case. I don't think Bucks fans are going to be. They're so happy with one. Am I wrong?
I don't want to speak for Bucks fans by and large, because there are some, like the villain John Wesley and others, who are so intensely Bucks fans that I think they would say yes, they'd be disappointed. But I think the Milwaukee and Wisconsin sports fan base writ large is kind of it's great that they won a championship. If they win another one, great. If they don't, fine. Like, I don't think if you just take Wisconsin sports fans, not just hardcore Bucks fans, but if you just took Wisconsinites who love sports, the team they care most about winning a championship is the Packers. And then, now that the Bucks have one, it might be the Brewers who never have won one. And the 82 team that went to the World Series continues to be celebrated. So I don't want to speak for hardcore Bucks fans because you know they want another title. There's no doubt about that. But
well, we all want another title.
They would be disappointed. I think they would be disappointed.
Yeah, it feels like we're okay if this is it. Whereas Packer fans, that obviously is not the case. And history, tradition, passion, I think there's just more. I agree with all of that. But you could look at this comp and say, if Giannis and the boys don't get it done this year, which I think they should, and I think they will, but if they don't, all of a sudden that Pella window's closing, and if they don't get another one, Giannis isn't going to get his PR, I guess his, what is that, the way they measure?
Q rating?
Q rating. His Q rating ain't going anywhere. He is a legend of all legends, statued up, bronze him up, whatever the case may be. That ain't going to change if he didn't get another one. I would feel that same way about Aaron Rodgers.
I would appreciate it if in those times where you can't think of a word and I actually do get it, if you would give me a thank you for your service, because you get really irritated when I don't.
Yeah,
speaking of the Pella window, today, if my watch is correct, is Friday, March 31st. So try to go out with a bang with your saran wrap read about Pella windows and doors of Wisconsin.
All right, well, today is it. If you're sick and tired of losing money because your windows aren't efficient and you can just see the cold air and the dollars blowing out these old windows, today is your lucky day. Don't make this your last winter that you do the saran wrap and stuff. Call Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get some new windows from Pella, and you're able to customize it up to match the rest of your unique home decor. They'll paint them, they'll stain them, they'll leave them bare. Whatever you decide looks best, they will do. You can get 0% financing for up to 4 years. Certain restrictions do apply. This is it. Offer doesn't end March 31st. The offer ends today. Visit PellaWI.com today to get it done. Again, that's 0% financing for 4 years.
So the question that you want polled is, we all agree based on their football accomplishments, both Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre deserve a statue at Lambeau Field. But if you could only have one commissioned today, taking everything, including allegations, into account, who is the one quarterback that you're getting statuized? Favre?
You know what
Rodgers?
I think happens here? Are you going to put none?
Do you want me to put none?
I don't know, because I think that's the easy hedge.
That's such an easy answer, and it wins.
None wins this, which is kind of crazy to think about, because both should.
All right, you pontificate on whether you want me to include
none
or not.
No, none.
No, none.
Hey, Joshy's here.
Morning.
Hey, welcome to the show, Joshy. Hey, big cat.
All right, I'll work on the poll. We'll continue.
You look like
the
you had an
conversation.
uncomfortable flight last night, and you just got in.
Middle seat.
Big Linda had a crying baby.
Big Linda grabbing your space.
If you want to chime in on this, now that Joshy's awake, 800-990-3776, 800-990-3776. That is the Milwaukee-based ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line, 800-990-3776. We'll get this poll in the field. We'll talk more about it next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate, when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at discount liquor.
Easter's almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Easter dinner can turn a meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Check Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com. Happy Easter.
Discount Liquor.
To be able to breathe properly when you sleep is a profound change. To be able to sleep properly is probably the most important thing you can do for your health, period. End of sentence. In order to sleep properly, you have to be able to breathe properly. If you can't breathe properly, you aren't going to sleep properly. It sounds sort of like simple, and like I'm talking to a first grader, but I'm simply saying that most people don't recognize how profoundly impacted their sleep is by their breathing issues until we fix it. And so if we fix somebody's nose, we fix their sinuses, we make sure that their throat is staying open when they're sleeping at night, their body is for the first time ever breathing properly and therefore sleeping properly. And you kind of forget, like, oh, this was such a big deal for me before I got it fixed.
Breathe well with simple solutions at vetnose.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Hey, small business owner, when's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But some don't check their rate often. Did you know rates can vary? In fact, taking 3 minutes to check your rate with Pi Insurance could save you up to 30%. Just go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for you with no hassle or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could save you money. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Just because the buzzer hits doesn't mean the game ends. Highlights.
Holiday back to Giannis, and Giannis will staple it through with a two-hand jam.
Reaction.
Bucks have been very good. So we're talking about 3 months now that the Bucks have been the best team in the league, and the Bucks and the Sixers have been the two best teams by a wide margin.
Your thoughts.
Take care of the glass. We need to do that, and we did it in the fourth quarter.
Nobody knows the Bucks like Justin Garcia. Catch Bucks Talk after every game right here on 94.5 ESPN.
A wide array of opportunities abound at Waste Management.
We're great environmental stewards. My position at Waste Management is making sure that we don't take anything we can't take, so make sure we're not accepting anything hazardous and we're protecting the environment while doing what we need to do to take waste. I really like how Waste Management, even though it's a large corporation, they really put their people first. It's like a small family. I love coming to work every day. A lot of people can't say that.
Join the Waste Management family. Just search online, Waste Management Careers.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Look, there's a lot that we want to get to today, including some conversations that I had yesterday that have led me to think that April 17th has become a much more interesting date on the Aaron Rodgers trade timeline.
And why is that?
Well, I'll get into that a little bit later. That's a tease. I want to let people know that the poll is in the field. And some very, very, very surprising results in the first 2 minutes of polling. Today's Wilde Tausch Twitter poll. Mark Tauscher and I agree that based purely on football accomplishments, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers deserve statues at Lambeau. But if you can only statueify, which is not a word, I know, one of them, and taking everything, I don't think I could get sued for that, into account, who gets your statue? 4 or 12? And I got to be honest, Usually our polls, the first set of results, like you get to about 100 votes, and it usually ends up staying pretty close. There's not usually enormous swings. The potato corridor notwithstanding, it tends to stay pretty close. It would appear that our fans, there is finally an allegation that will get them to say, nope, I'm out. Because as of now, 96 votes in the first 2 minutes. If you can only give a statue to one of them, as he referred to himself in a text message, weirdo hippie quarterback, or the copper fit selling quarterback and other things. Right now, 71% Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
29% Brett Favre. I am legitimately stunned. I thought it would be 50-50 because I thought there were people that Brett Favre could do nothing to alienate them anymore now.
Yeah,
Play
these
for the
allegations. Yeah, these allegations have been pretty alienating.
So it would appear.
I think it seems as if there is allegedly stuff that can be put into play that will even shift this dynamic, which I think had we done this prior to all of these allegations, I don't think this poll's going that way.
No, I agree.
No.
The Glenn on Twitter, who I want to make sure, because I've known him for a while. I follow him back. He has been a very vocal critic of Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so it's not as if he's like pro 12. But as he puts it very clearly in his tweet, the criminal involvement, allegedly, disqualifies him in his mind, Favre. So even if you're not a Rodgers fan, by not having none, which I do think would probably be winning right now, and if you'd like me to rewrite it, I can.
None would be winning in a landslide, so I'm glad you didn't do none. I guess to put a bow on the statue, because I'm now very interested in this April 17th date that you brought up. You have teased me into wanting to know now, but I will play the game. I just want to reiterate, and I guess a lot of times we forget about how important expectations are when it comes, and that's why with Matt LaFleur tamping down expectations for Jordan Love, it's so important because this conversation we just had for the first two segments of this show with Giannis compared to Aaron. Aaron and Giannis, when you just look at, Giannis has been in the league, 9-10 years? He grew. Very similar tracks. Not personality-wise, very similar tracks from a professional standpoint. One championship, disappointing, heartbreaking playoff losses, MVPs. The fact that Giannis completely resurrected a moribund franchise and brought it up to the highest of highs can't be understated in how we as fans view our athletes.
And that gives him an advantage over Rodgers.
It's an advantage that is crazy, that I don't think should be, quite frankly, because Aaron Rodgers took over the Green Bay Packers when they were in really good shape. But he had to play at this level to do what he's doing. It's not like, the ghosts of Brett Favre and Mike Holmgren and Ron Wolf, that wasn't helping him win a championship. That wasn't helping him win 4 MVPs. So we get caught up in that because our expectation is championship or bust. And the fact that we didn't have that with the Milwaukee Bucks for so long, this is such a great example of how we look at things through different prisms. And the prism of Giannis and Aaron Rodgers' careers are eerily similar. Rodgers and Giannis' public perception couldn't be more different. And I ask you, why? Why?
I thought you were going to go with another Y there, so I thought there was a third one coming. Sorry.
No, just double Ys. It's not a triple Y.
I would
now,
also
Jason,
say this.
the personality standpoint of this, I again, that plays a big part. I understand that.
It
but
does.
Just look at the overarching
the resumes
body of work.
Yep.
Jason, Aaron's been longer, but production-wise, you make a really good argument. Giannis should have 3 MVPs and should win a 4th. He won't, but he should.
Right.
So when you start looking at all of this, their career arcs are eerily similar, but their personalities aren't, and we as fans couldn't view them differently from our own scope. Why?
And
why? Why?
Okay, there's the third one. Thank you.
Triple.
There is also, though, the greater similarity. Again, take the allegations of stealing welfare money from poor people off the table here. There are also a lot of similarities between Favre and Giannis, including the high lovability, relatability, likability factor. Right? And the franchise sucked for a really long time until he came along factor. So there are more similarities maybe than we think between 4 and 34, just as there are some similarities between 12 and 34 in terms of resumes, but a vast disparity between their likability. 800-990-3776.
It's all about perspective. That's what it's all about.
It is. I also think that there are a lot of folks that discount what Rodgers accomplished based on the fact that he did not inherit the moribund franchise. I think they discount that.
That part can't get overlooked, but I'm saying you still have to understand Giannis went through his progression to get better and to bring the franchise up. Aaron Rodgers had to do the same thing. Aaron Rodgers, just because he's part of the Packers, doesn't mean he's going to be super successful. He had to do it. Giannis had to do it. The fact that there was not anything prior and he built it, people always are more fascinated by the build than the remodel. But you know what? In today's world, there's some remodels that are dang good. And people are like, oh, my God, how did you transform that?
I just want to be clear before we take Ron and the Keys call. Lots and lots and lots of, from, like, for instance, Kobe. I'll take the guy that didn't commit welfare fraud. Allegedly. Allegedly. Please add your allegedly to your tweet. There's a lot of that. 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776. Let's talk to our buddy Ron in the Key. Ron, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. Long time. Hope you both are well. As me and the Big Cat are probably one of the most frequent criticizers of Aaron on these airways, that last sentiment that you just said, yeah, that's probably me. I mean, honestly, if my choice is this, I'd probably be like, I don't know that we have to continue doing statues. Maybe statues isn't our thing anymore.
Sure. Agreed.
On the field, which just seems so disingenuous to just say that because these other things do exist, allegedly.
Well done.
I think I'd go Favre because I think it's a better story of, although I don't think Reggie gets as much credit as he absolutely deserves for the turnaround.
Also agreed.
It went. Though Josh, doesn't like to hear about the woe is us. We went through bad years. The Packers stunk. That's where I'd actually think that Giannis and Brett's story are closer. It doesn't mean Aaron isn't great on the field, but it's just not as great of a story. Like the movie wouldn't be about, and they're still great. The movie would be they stunk and now they're great. But that being said, I'm a cynic. I probably believe that the alleged things happened, at least to an extent, and not like if it's any like if any part of it is true, it's enough for I'm like, yeah, no, I don't need a statue of that guy around the team that I support. And let's not, just leave other things. Is I happen to work in the Milwaukee bar industry, so I know other stuff about him that doesn't make him a great guy. But if we held that standard, we couldn't listen to any music or basically do anything as a consumer. So,
Well, and let's be honest. I mean, Curly Lambeau allegedly burned down the lodge that was built to say, and that helped save the franchise financially, allegedly. But when you look at people that are statuified, this is why the death statute should be in place, because dead people don't do more bad things. I want to get to some of your responses on this. Again, 800-990-3776, 800-990-3776. Lots of responses to the poll as people continue to vote on that. We will continue to get to those. Tausch is very excited to hear why I think April 17th is a crucial date in the Aaron Rodgers timeline. We'll get to that as well. That's all still ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. Show me your Guinness. We want to see you enjoying Guinness pints this month at your favorite Milwaukee area establishments. Take a picture with your Guinness, scan the QR code, and enter to win amazing prizes all month when you show me your Guinness. Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
I think Rodgers is happy because he wants to play somewhere else. The Packers are happy because they want him to play somewhere else. And the Jets are happy because they want him. Tony, isn't everybody happy?
No, everybody's being spiteful right now. Happy people aren't spiteful.
So who's being spiteful?
No one.
So I know.
Everybody.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
KD, is he in fact the player that's going to have the biggest effect on the playoff race in the West, or is it someone else?
It's LeBron James. It's not even a question.
Still LeBron James?
LeBron James coming back last night. I mean, look, I get Kevin Durant, Key, having a chance to win a championship. LeBron James and the Lakers are just as live now. I mean, because with their team with Rui Hachimura and the way they defended last night, the way they were blitzing Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan in the opening quarter of the game, like just his passing ability, and think about the legacy that comes in here. If they were to win, hovering around 9th, 10th all year long, what that does for LeBron, I say the impact on the playoff race, considering the Lakers with LeBron and where they were starting, I think is more impactful than Kevin Durant.
Lowe's MVP's bonus days are back for pros. Right now, buy a DeWalt 20-volt Max Power Stack Battery 2-pack at $199 and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free. Plus, earn 3 times the bonus points on all Metabo HPT tools and products. Shop even more savings and bonus points offers during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 3/20 through 3/31. Subject to change. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. Visit Lowes.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts provides more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also offer free check engine light diagnosis. We can scan your vehicle and provide a list of possible fixes. Find the right parts for you or recommend a great local repair shop. Don't ignore your check engine light. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
We don't want you on our team.
You're not the right fit for this job.
You're too slow and fast.
Don't you care how you look?
Weight bias hurts. Go to stopweightbias.com. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Oh, make me over. I'm all I wanna be. A walking study in demonology. Hey, so that you can make it.
800-990-3776. We're talking statues, not statutes of limitations, on Wilde and Tausch today.
So
the polls
I hear you talking about statues, and one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up, because I know, again, it all stems back from Giannis knowing he's getting a statue, the Dirk Nowitzki, but I thought this when I was overseas. When you see all this great art and these sculptures, do you know anything about one of, so they give you like here's what you got to hit when you're at the Louvre if you want to hit all the big ones. The Mona Lisa, and I don't know, there's some other paintings that you have to go see.
I don't know, there's some others.
Harambe's Code, the big statue there, some of the Sphinx, and a bunch of stuff like that. But one of the ones is the casting, what is it called when you're sculpting? The sculpture of Venus de Milo. Which, I don't know if you know much about Venus. I didn't. I should have, but I didn't. They found Venus de Milo. She's in the Louvre. They found her in a farm field, plowing up a field, and they found this statue, threw it in the Louvre, and it's one of the most visited things in the... I don't know anything about... Josh, you know anything about Venus?
I do
She's
know
got
a little...
no arms.
Venus does have no arms.
Because she was in the farm field.
Made in 150 BCE is the estimation. It is thought to depict Aphrodite. There is some controversy about that, and they believe it was removed and looted as part of Napoleon and his conquering of.
Wow, I didn't know you knew this much about old Venus.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the
Josh
Wikipedia.
Is a pretty smart guy. Anyways, so I always have been like, what are we doing? Like putting up statues of living, because it does preserve history, and there is an importance to it. Because I was wondering, in the last 100 years, like I said it on Monday, if we're louving some stuff up from the last 100 years of the U.S., what are we louving up? And if you look at the Green Bay Packers and you say, what are we louving up? You have to louve up Favre, Rodgers, Reggie White. Those guys have to be louved up.
Can you stop saying louved up? It's making me
I can't. I have to. Venus de Milo was found in a farm field, and thank goodness, because it's a beautiful sculpture and people learned. My kids learned. The Packers' history, you want it to continue on, you got to louvre some stuff up. And these guys are louvable.
So she's, by the way, she's 6'8". She wasn't 6'8" in real life, right? We don't know. I guess we don't know.
I don't know. Tell you what thing, you don't want to be
God.
sitting next to Big Linda and Big Venus on the plane.
Tough to defend in the low post. Also, I'm just curious before we move to calls again. We were at AmFam Field yesterday. And while I did not tour the entirety of the stadium, and I know you enjoyed watching the grounds crew, I did see the Walk of Fame area with all the plaques. What I didn't check were the statues. So what is there? There's a Robin Yount statue, right?
Uke. Uke.
There's a Henry Aaron statue.
Bob Uecker.
Is that it? That's the list?
I'm sure Bud Selig probably has one, too, if I was betting.
So there's a few people there that are still with us that have their own statues. I would also think that at some point maybe Paul Molitor would get a statue in that group as well. But if you're going to do statues, I will say this. I don't know where this poll or this conversation is going, but your idea, again, my first instinct when you come up with ideas is to poo-poo. That's just the truth. And almost every time I consider poo-pooing, I come around and I'm like, oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's a good idea. This one I didn't need to poo-poo. The idea of having like a statue
Well, thank Venus de
area.
Milo. You can thank Venus de Milo for that.
All 6'8" of her. 800-990-3776. Let's get to a couple more of your
Not
calls.
a great wingspan, though. Her scouting report in the NBA won't be great.
So now, did they not find her arms in that field?
I don't
and
know.
they couldn't reattach
But isn't it
them
fascinating
to the statue?
isn't it fascinating that a farmer is out plowing their field and they just find this sculpture?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's in the Louvre forever? Like it just
Also, is David with his junk, is he in the Louvre too, or is he somewhere else?
there's a lot of nudity in these museums.
Okay.
Continue to come up and in ballets. Kids learned a lot.
As you've learned,
on this trip.
At least in France. Let's get to a couple of calls here. 800-990-3776. Let's start with John in Minnesota. John, good morning. Welcome to Wilde Tausch, buddy. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
Are you pro statue in general? Venus.
Yeah, I am. I mean, they don't make statues of everybody, and you typically want to highlight the key guys and key moments that came through your organization. So, yeah, I'm pro statue.
Okay.
With clothing.
So then where do you come down on 12 and 4 in their statues?
Yeah, I mean, you can't take back what they did. I mean, we hadn't won a championship since Starr and Lombardi, so they're clearly very important and could get a statue just based on what they did.
Should the other stuff factor in or not?
No,
I guess we lost.
I don't think
you.
so. I mean, unless it's like, I mean, they're not doing anything egregious that would lead to, like, you know, life in prison or something. I mean, time heals.
That's the
all wounds,
differentiator.
like I've heard you guys say.
That's true. All right. I would just.
So
I would just
prison
say
is
this.
cool, just not life in prison.
Yeah.
I don't
even know where to go with that.
Let's get to another call. 800-990-3776. Let's go to Pete in McGuanago. Pete.
Sorry,
good
this is
morning.
Pete in
Welcome to Wilde Tausch.
Madison.
How are you?
That's
not what it says here. It says Pete in McGuanago.
It says McGuanago. I see it
does
too.
say
So he's
it?
in McGuanago.
I'm correcting the record. I made an error, so it's Pete in Madison. Hello,
Nice.
Pete.
Look at you,
Didn't know
Goody.
Jesse was doing the
Look
show
at you
today.
acknowledging a mistake, Sternberger. Good work.
Hi, Pete in
All
Madison.
good. Yeah, it's all good. It's kind of funny with you bringing up Venus. Does that mean that we should consider putting a Brett Favre statue up, but rip off the arms? Can you hear that?
Or
Yeah, no, I heard it. I'm trying to piece it together. I need to understand.
You were talking about I just found it funny because I don't think he should be in because of the alleged stuff that he's dealing with right now.
Yep.
Just because I think it's always going to be subjective. In your question, as far as am I a statue guy or not, I favor them. I think that's a great thing for people to take pictures by when they go to a venue. It's just kind of it is a good milestone to kind of those kinds of things. So I'm for them. I'm not for Brett Favre just because I do feel like the stuff that you do off the field. I also wanted to chime in on Tausch's comparison between Rodgers and Giannis. I don't really think that you can. That's so apples and oranges because where Giannis is concerned, there's only 5 men on the court at any given time, and they're playing both offense and defense. So there's that. And then there's the story that he came from nothing. I don't really know Rodgers' background, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case, right? I mean, that's what made us feel really good about Brett Favre.
For sure. The story always matters. I'm not arguing that, and I think that's why Giannis, that's a part of why he is so beloved and what Rodgers has done where he is not. All I'm saying is when you look at, because the reason we love Giannis is because he has been great for the city of Milwaukee, the state of Wisconsin, and the franchise bringing a championship. Their resumes, whereas in basketball you can affect things a lot more, one person, than even a quarterback can. Their resumes are eerily similar, but their belovedness isn't. And I'm fascinated by that. The story, no doubt about it, Pete, is a big part of that.
To do a movie on Giannis, I can't believe they ever would have had the same.
They did. It wasn't very good.
Aaron Rodgers.
Hey,
they did a movie
on
Giannis, so it wasn't
all
very
right,
good.
stuff.
No,
All right,
movie wasn't
thanks for the call, Pete. We appreciate you. It was fine. It wasn't like
It wasn't okay.
Titanic.
It
but
wasn't great.
You can't. You said it wasn't
was,
very
let's
good.
say this, Jason. If it wasn't somebody we really cared about and liked as a sports fan, we would pan that movie pretty heavily. Let's just be honest about that.
I did not think it was that bad. I
Josh,
thought it was, I
movie
thought it
was
was
bad.
reasonably
Bad.
well acted. You guys.
That was the worst part.
It was not. Yeah, that was the worst part.
All
Big
right,
Cat's
Meryl Streep.
The
Big
story
Cat,
is
whatever.
really interesting, and it was not executed that great.
You know what is executed very well? Every time Mark Tauscher talks about Coors Light, that is always executed very, very, very well.
Well, this weekend it will be executed very, very well. When I crack open a Coors Light and just sit back and chill, it's been a long week having a grind without Jason, only having Big Cat for a couple days. Everybody's had their deal going on through the week. Crack a Coors Light at the end of the week because it is cold packaged, cold lagered, and cold filtered. So it is made to chill. That's why it's always Coors Light in my hand when I need that moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Joshy, you up for some trivia?
I suppose.
Your enthusiasm is overwhelming. The category today, Tournament Trivia 2.
What?
I don't know what that means.
You know what's
Doesn't say
funny?
part two, it just says
everybody
2.
talking about how much they love March Madness and everything and all these great upsets. I watched Get Up most of the week to get ready. You know how much Final Four talk they had? One segment at about 8:40 this morning. That's it. Just an FYI. So everybody's excited about the Final Four.
San Diego State FAU has not captured their imagination on Get Up.
Tony Gwynn. Gwynny, my guy.
TG.
Caller 12 right now, 800-990-3776. Caller 12 right now, 800-990-3776. We'll play trivia next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Looking for the best way to welcome new teammates or business partners to your team? Look no further. 3 Tree Marketing is a full-service branded merchandise agency using creative merchandising to share your company's story. Be the envy of others with specialized gifting and onboarding kits from 3 Tree, an amazing opportunity to best showcase what a brand is all about. Work with a team that thinks outside the box and becomes an extension of your team. See what else 3 Tree Marketing can do for your team and set an appointment today. 3treemarketing.com.
Get ready. Opening week is here. Brewers baseball returns April 3rd with a star-studded battle versus the Mets. The action continues with the showdown versus the Cardinals starting April 7th, featuring a buy one, get one beer offer for National Beer Day. Plus, collect the limited edition Giannis Brewers basketball jersey on April 8th. Don't miss the return of Brewers baseball. Get your opening week seats at brewers.com/tickets.
At QC Kinetics, we have story after story of patients freed from agonizing pain through amazing regenerative treatments. But this one, well, it's special.
My father, who is 70 years old, had both of his knees worn out. He went to an orthopedic surgeon who said you need both of your knees operated on. We can book you for next week.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, medical director for QC Kinetics.
Had him come to QC Kinetics. We treated both of his knees using our protocols with regenerative medicine. Within a few months, he was back to walking. A few months later, he was at the gym exercising 3 times a week. He can keep up with our 3.5-year-old little girl.
No surgery, no complicated rehab or downtime.
It's completely life-changing for him.
You have options too. Before they whisk you away to surgery, slow down. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
You're about to experience the impressive performance of the new Acura MDX Type S. With a powerful turbo V6 engine with 355 horsepower. It has room for the driver and 6 passengers. Also, it's perfect for your family. The new Acura MDX Type S. Acura. Precision crafted performance.
See Acura of Brookfield, member of the Wisconsin Acura dealers.
Keep those pens and highlighters handy during Gruber Law Office's One Champs Week here on 94.5 ESPN. The bracket is coming to an end, and that means one lucky team will come away from Houston as the next champion. Who's going to be cutting down the nets after the final buzzer? Stay tuned to 94.5 ESPN all week long as we hit the hardwood for all things college hoops. One Champs Week on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. And together, we turn great ideas into reality by accessing our networks, our experience, and the best of ourselves to make a difference. Around the world, Rotary brings leaders together to build new friendships and to solve problems. Like in Austria, where generations work side by side to build sustainable housing and community centers. In India, volunteers run a mobile blood bank to help provide a steady blood supply for their local community. And in Taiwan, people are working hard to get vulnerable citizens the support and services they need. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Take action with us. Find out more at rotary.org/action.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Before we play trivia, I just want to make certain. Our contestant, is he indeed in Waukesha, or is he in Watoma? Is he in Weston? Where is he located?
To the best of my knowledge, Tom is, in fact, in Waukesha.
All right, well, then let's play some trivia. And let's welcome in our contestant, allegedly from Waukesha. It is Tom. Tom, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Morning, gentlemen. I am in Waukesha, and I got to say, if there were bronze erected pieces outside of Lambeau, my reaction would be statues. What are you doing here?
Now that's
Well
the call
done.
we needed right there. Nicely done. All right, the category is the tournament times 2 or something to that effect. Here is question 1. We'll all find this out together. Which of these players, whose team is playing in the Final Four this weekend, was named 2023 College Basketball Naismith Player of the Year this week? Was it Adama Sanogo of UConn, Caitlin Clark, Iowa, or Big Linda Lewandowski, Vanderbilt?
Jeez, I don't know. I'm going to go Sonova.
kind of a question is that out of the chute?
I think Big Linda got robbed, by the way, too. Her post presence and her ability to pass out of double teams, pretty good.
She clears out a lot of space underneath the basket, that's for sure. No, Caitlin Clark of Iowa was the Women's National Player of the Year.
Big
All right,
game
Tausch,
tonight.
question 2.
I think that game's going to do a big number. You saw that the women's, was it the Elite Eight, did a bigger rating than the NBA. And tonight's game with South Carolina, woo! I think that's going to draw a big number.
It's going to be a great
All right.
game. Yep.
The main campus for Florida Atlantic University, who won the school's first NC2A tournament game 2 weeks ago, and now find themselves 2 wins away from a championship, is in which of these Florida cities? Is it Siesta Key, Boca Raton, or St. Petersburg?
Again, it's a guess, but I'm going with St. Pete.
These questions are
These
really
questions
hard.
Yeah, they're way more difficult. Did Jesse do these, or is this a Big Cat creation?
No, these are Jesse's.
Jesse's, he's listening, and he's rubbing his hands together and laughing and doing that little chortle that he does.
Chortle.
I'd like to distance myself from the questions as far as
Tom,
possible.
let's get question 3 here together. All right, let's go.
I hope so.
How old? Oh my God! How old is Miami Hurricanes men's head basketball coach Jim Larranaga? Is he? No, I think it's Larranaga.
No, it's not. Continue.
No, it's Larranaga.
All right.
Is Jim Larranaga, or Naga, is he 53, 63, or 73?
I'm going to go 63. Yeah, of course.
There ain't no statue getting put up on that performance, old boy.
No, yeah, we're definitely not going to move that up. Although maybe we'll have to run it back before we move it up.
that performance.
Tom, I got to be honest with you. You did nothing in trivia, largely because of Jesse, but you demonstrated your incredible loyalty to the program with about 6 different references.
Can we give him an entry for that?
No,
can we give him?
can't.
Jesse's not here.
Yeah, Jesse's not here. Let's break the
entry.
rules.
Joshy, throw him another one.
Tom, we appreciate your loyalty to the show, even though you got hosed with these difficult questions, buddy. Thanks.
All right. Love you guys.
There's another one. Ah, Jesse. All right, we'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour and the long-awaited conversation about April 17th. When your taxes are due, I think, because I think the 15th falls on a weekend. We'll talk about that to kick off the 10 o'clock hour, and we'll do that in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Kessler's is America's largest employee-owned diamond store.
It's the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
As shoppers, we want better prices and more choices.
That's why we give you better prices and more choices.
We don't try to choose for you. We let you choose.
You can choose a diamond from a diamond mine.
A diamond as old as the earth itself.
You can choose a created diamond from a plasma chamber.
A diamond as new and fresh and sparkling as springtime.
And now you can choose a flickering firelight diamond.
Flickering firelight diamonds sparkle with a rich and regal golden glow.
At Kessler's, you choose from 3 different kinds of diamonds.
3 different kinds of diamonds.
Earth diamonds from diamond mines.
Created diamonds from plasma chambers.
And flickering firelight diamonds with a rich, regal golden glow.
We like to have choices, so we give you choices.
Kessler's is the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Gabe Neitzel here this week on the tee with myself and Stephen Watson, Monday night at 6. It is Masters Week. We love the Masters and get excited for the biggest tournament of the year. We're going to break it all down. Who's going to win? Who should win? And some of our favorite Masters memories, all part of the Masters Week episode of On the Tee.
On the Tee with Gabe and Stephen, Mondays at 6 on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by the 2023 U.S. Senior Open at Century World in Stevens Point. Buy tickets at ussenioropen.com.
College hoops fans, it's Jen Latta from ESPN. It's almost time to cut down the nets, and Celsius wants to make sure you fuel up for the madness. Visit your local retailer to pick up your favorite Celsius Essential Energy drink. Celsius has 15 different flavors for you to choose from, including Arctic Vibe, Sparkling Lemon Lime, Fantasy Vibe, Strawberry Lemonade, and many more. Bracket already busted? Use Celsius for the essential energy you need. Stay active and energized all day long with Celsius Essential Energy drinks.
Hey, this is Tony Smith. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Now all my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde
Good to be
Tausch
alive right about now.
begins now. And it begins where Tausch has been waiting to go for an hour after his statute of limitations has run out. That poll's at 1,500 votes, by the way. So not the worst poll we've ever had. So we were at AmFam Field yesterday, and this came up a little bit, but we didn't delve into it as far as we could have. So we're going to do it today because I had a few conversations on the phone and via text message last night with people that are, I would say, in the know. I shared some of that with you, Tausch, about where this trade is headed. And there felt like, right? It felt like yesterday we read something from Albert Breer at the MMQB that maybe the deal's going to get done.
Yeah, feels imminent, right? It all feels imminent.
Maybe not. Or maybe this date that I am about to discuss with you will speed up the process. And that date is April 17th. Do you know what happens on that day?
People report, right? To
the Green Bay
training
Packers.
Or to OTAs.
Yeah, so OTAs are a little bit later, but the offseason program for the Packers kicks off on April 17th. And we've talked a lot about putting Jordan Love in the best position to succeed.
Yes.
We also have talked about what are you prepared to do if you're Aaron Rodgers to perhaps put some pressure on the Packers to trade you to the Jets for what the Jets are offering right now, which, again, according to Charles Robinson, the report that he had was that it is for a second-round pick this year, number 42 or 43, the Jets own both those now, plus a second-round pick next year that could graduate to a first-round pick if the Jets reach the AFC Championship game. Now, the Jets had been talking, too, about we'd like a draft pick back in 2025 that would be conditional on if Rodgers retires. So if he doesn't play in 2024, we'd like a 2025 pick. Yeah. Maybe that's one of the negotiating points they can – and maybe that's one of the things that the Jets have in there now that they can say, well, we'll take that off the table if you'll stop demanding a first-round pick in 2024, which I think is something that the Packers want. And so, as a result, their standstill continues. I know Mike Florio said something about that. There are not everyone is saying that this deal is imminent. And now I begin to wonder, does Aaron Rodgers, statue or no statue, is he willing to really do the one thing that would take some cojones, and he says he doesn't mind being a villain? Is he willing to report to the off-season program on April 17th of a team that doesn't want him there? And yes, I fully grasp the incredible irony that he didn't come to the offseason program when they wanted him and wanted him to attend it.
The first time in 3 years.
He could potentially report to it when they don't want him there and don't want him to attend it and don't want him on the team anymore. I want to be clear on this. I am not conjuring this up, and you can confirm this, out of thin air and out of Wilde just wants to create drama. There is something to this possibility. Do I know that Rodgers would have the guts to do this? I do not. I don't know that. But I know that he knows it's an option. And I wonder if Goody cares enough about it to say, all right, we can't have him showing up at 1265 Lombardi Avenue when we're trying to grease the runway for Jordan Love to have the smoothest possible transition into his starting role. We can't have Rodgers showing up the way Brett Favre showed up on Family Night.
Yeah, I have a question about this because I've said this, and everybody that was talking about how much leverage the Packers had, and I kept trying to say both sides want to get this done, and leverage-wise, it's moot. How involved do you think Aaron Charles Rodgers is with his supposed new team in saying, no, you're not giving up 13. I need this player to help me win. No. You don't give up a second. Here's the deal. I might only play 1 year. Give up a third-round pick and let's move on with our lives. And if they don't, maybe I will show up to Green Bay and just make it uncomfortable to maybe make them want to do this. Do you think he's involved, that he's talking with the general manager for the New York Jets in saying some of those things?
Yes, I do. I believe that very, very much.
Okay, let me ask you this. What do you think Aaron Rodgers would stomach as the pseudo GM of the Jets in saying, all right, we're good? Is it a third-round pick and that's it? What does Aaron Rodgers feel like, in your opinion, that the fair trade value is in this operation?
Like, if we're being honest here, right? First of all, he has a number of reasons why he would want the Packers to not get much in return. One, he wants to keep as much as he can for his new team to make his team better.
For sure.
Two, I think he wants to do whatever he can, because both he and Goody, it's very clear now, really can't stomach each other. So
sure.
he definitely wants to make it so Goody appears to lose this trade as best they can, right? There's no way that, I mean, he's that vindictive. So,
there's
frankly,
pettiness on both sides, yes.
He probably wants them to trade a third-round pick because he probably feels like, given Goody's track record in that round, he's going to screw the pick up anyway. So,
burn.
Well, am I wrong? I'm not wrong about his track record in the third round.
I think you want him to give up a sixth-round pick, but, yeah, obviously second's worse than third, and I'm sure Rodgers, with his knowledge of everything that goes on, probably is looking back and saying, yeah, your third-round picks, Goody, have not helped my teams when I've been with you. So, yeah, go ahead. Take the Jets third.
So I don't know how far he is willing to go. I would be curious because, again, there are certain things I can say and certain things I can't. I am trying to convey as best I can that
sure.
I feel very good about this being a pressure point. What I'm not sure about, because let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers, you can hear the audio of me saying, I think he's going to cave, right? You hear me when I'm on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, or I think it's when we play Where's Wilde, you hear that clip. He has talked a big game before. So whether or not he actually would show up for the offseason program on April 17th, just to make it awkward and uncomfortable for Goody, I don't know if he's willing to go to that level. But he wants them to think he's willing to go to that level, right?
Yeah, but the difference here is there's a lot for him to gain personally.
Correct.
The difference in the past has been there's conjecture, there's all this other stuff. Now it's real. The information has been out there. We all know what's going to happen. And Aaron Rodgers wants to win above all else. And in this case, if he looks at this and says, you know what, it's at a stalemate, the only way, just like Favre had to come, you think Favre really wanted to fly up to Green Bay and go through the whole dog and pony show of forcing Ted and Mark Murphy's hands into trading him?
No,
he would have loved
to
if they
be
just
cut
worked
so he
it
could
out.
Go play for the Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted it to work out. He would have loved to stay down on his farm, be on the tractor, and Bus called him and said, hey, they released you. Or, hey, we worked this out. He knew that he needed to do this, come up and be uncomfortable. He wasn't comfortable walking around. He was hiding in the back equipment room, not even really being able to talk to anybody when they weren't having meetings. So it just was an awkward deal. And Aaron looks at this and says, in order for me to help our team and to limit what resources we need to trade back for me, and of course there's the spite angle too on the Goody side of it, I need to make their life miserable enough that they say, all right, let's just be done. Because right now there's no pressure point. It's March 31st. There's still a long way to go. The draft is in 3 weeks. The opening of Packers stuff is in 2 weeks. But if you do show up, what do you think is going to happen? All the Packer players, what do you think they're going to be talking about? What do you think Wilde and Domofsky and Hubes and Schneid, what do you think that whole crew is going to be asking? Is it going to be about Jordan Love and Keyshawn Nixon and Joe Barry and what draft picks? Or is it going to be, what the hell are you guys doing? How is this going to work out? Is Rodgers taking the first team snaps? Is this? And if for everybody that doesn't think that sucks a lot of emotional and physical and psychological capital out of the players and coaches and everybody that works there, you don't remember 08, and this will be 08 on steroids if Rodgers does do something like this. So I would think calmer heads will prevail, and something close to that April 17th date is when it'll get done, because Rodgers and his team will say, they'll just easy call Goody and say, hey, code's still the same, right, for the building? Because my guy's coming in for physicals Monday morning. Just want to make sure the code's the same and we can get in. And then you want to see some panic looks. There will be a emergency meeting with the Brain Trust and saying, all right, now what do we do?
Aaron Rodgers, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I would also like to add one other thing to this, because I had this conversation with Jen and Gabe on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. And Jen said, do you really think Rodgers would do this to Jordan Love after having it done to him by Favre? And I understand where she's coming from on this, but we're in a scenario here where Aaron Rodgers has, in fairness to him, and we have criticized him roundly on this show for multiple things. We have not been stands for him on this. But when it comes to Jordan Love, he's been pretty darn good to him. He made sure he did not repeat the sins of the guy who came before him. If it came to that now, he's got to do what gets him the hell out of Green Bay. It's not, hey, and I'm sure he would call Jordan and say, Jordan, look, I don't want to do this to you, but they're not accepting the trade terms with the Jets. I need to put some pressure on them. This has nothing to do with you. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this to you, but I have to do it to get the hell out of there. They don't want me anymore. They want you to be the guy. I want you to be the guy. I want to move on. I'm going to have to do this to put pressure on them. I don't think Aaron Rodgers would do it and feel like, well, I could stick it to Jordan too. Because I don't think I really, truly believe he's not interested in doing that to him.
I would agree. I don't know if he'll call him. I would think that he'd text him, or he'd try to get in touch with him in some way to let Jordan know. But again, at this point, I think that's not at the top of Aaron's list as far as what it goes. Big Cat just sent this. Tim in Hales Corners. Thank you. The Jets don't have a third-round pick this year.
They don't. That's correct. They was part of the Elijah Moore trade.
So it's going to be a.
So how about a fourth?
Well, I think Rodgers and Joe, depending on how you want to look at it, who's pulling the strings there. Again, I do think my solution is the best one for the Green Bay Packers.
The pick
I
swap.
do.
Jeez.
You got people bringing this up on
get why-
Scalzo and Bruss.
10-20.
You
10-20
don't
is the
understand
time for the pick swap.
The pick swap is a nice little sweetener that makes it look better for the Green Bay Packers, and it does make the Jets look better.
Now we're
too.
playing optics.
So it is optical, just like the Giannis and Rodgers thing. Optics are important, Joshy. So I don't know how it's going to all shake itself out, but what you're telling me is Aaron is, in your opinion, pretty active in what's being done here from the Jets standpoint, because he wants to make sure he's giving his new team the best chance to win. And is that the big – do you think if it was just Joe Douglas and Aaron wasn't in his ear, there'd be a certain way this was going? Or do you think this is just how it would have always been?
Look, here's what the impression I get. And, again, you can read Charles Robinson's piece at Yahoo Sports. The impression I get is that the Jets think they're giving up a fair package. A second this year, a second next year that can move up to a 1 if they reach the AFC Championship game for a guy who may not play in 2024. You heard Mike Tannenbaum on this show say he wouldn't give up more than a third.
That is the offer right now.
That
the Jets
is the
have
offer.
offered a second and next year's second, and that offer's on the table?
That is according to Charles's report, yes.
From the Jets to the Packers, 2 twos is what's on the table. As we sit here, no conditions that if Rodgers retires after 1 year, they get 2 twos?
I think that is one of the sticking points, is whether or not you get anything back if he retires.
Boy,
but again,
if I'm Green Bay, I'm pretty happy with that. The
and
season
that
goes
second
haywire.
two,
Rodgers says deuces, and I'm getting 2 seconds. Not bad.
And if they go really, the season goes really well for the Jets, that second becomes a first next year. That's his reporting, not mine. And Charles is really good at his job.
All right, so to put a
again,
bow on this, do you think if things continue on this path of Stalemateville, which hopefully it isn't, your knowledge of Aaron what is the percentage he is at the keypad at 12:65 at 8 a.m. Monday morning, April 17th? 50-50? Less than that?
Yeah, maybe a smidge more. I still think that takes guts. And he has not.
He has a film crew with him. He's doing a documentary.
He's dressed as Nicolas Cage.
Jason, that doesn't take near the guts that the other stuff. This would be another way to stick it to somebody he doesn't like.
Yeah. I think this could be the time where he actually does something and doesn't just talk about it, but actually does it.
I don't want to say
if I was Goody, I'd be a little worried
Jason,
about it.
Jason, is one of the most interesting things I've heard you say in a while. Because that was over 50%.
Yeah, I mean, not far over, okay? Because I still think he's a lot of
80%.
What's the line from De Niro at the end
all
of The
cattle
Untouchables?
and no
Nothing
hat.
but a lot of talk and a badge.
No, it's all cattle and no hat.
I've never heard that until
all
right
hat and no cattle. It might be all hat and no cattle. It's one of
what I can tell you is Steinhafels is all furniture and all great bargains all at the same time. Right now, their spring sale is underway. So spring is here, and so is the best time to refresh your home during the spring sale at Steinhafels, whether it's a new mattress, a new sofa, a new dining room table. Steinhafels has everything you need for every style and every budget. And with Steinhafels' special 72-month financing, you can buy now and pay over a 6-year span. Plus, you'll get 10% off all clearance furniture and get a Stanley 40-ounce quencher when you spend over $1,499 this weekend only at Steinhafels. Check them out online at steinhafels.com or stop by your local store today. One other point on this that I'm curious about that I will bring up to Tausch is, why is Goody being as stubborn as he is? I'll ask him that question, and we'll get an answer from him next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Show me your Guinness. We want to see you enjoying Guinness pints this month at your favorite Milwaukee area establishments. Take a picture with your Guinness, scan the QR code, and enter to win amazing prizes all month when you show me your Guinness. Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Unparalleled service from beginning to end. That's the Pella Promise. And it all starts with a free consultation right in the comfort of your own home. Hi, it's Gina Della from Pella. The free consultation includes a virtual tour of your actual house on a tablet. Watch how Pella can help change the beauty and curb appeal of your home by virtually comparing different options and configurations. You'll see what they'd look like if they were installed in your home. Visit our showrooms in Brookfield, Madison, or Green Bay, or online at PellaWI.com.
Milwaukee, are you ready to guac? It's almost National Burrito Day. In honor, Qdoba is hosting the first ever World Burrito Eating Championship at the Beer Garden in Deer District on Thursday, April 6th. Doors open at 11 a.m. Professional Major League eaters are set to crush the flavorful World Eating Championship Burrito. Qdoba invites up to 500 people to this free event with games, tasty samples, music, and prizes. Make plans now to be at the Beer Garden in Deer District on Thursday afternoon, April 6th to celebrate with Qdoba.
Attention, attention. More superheroes are needed. Current Electric is growing and hiring service and commercial electricians, solar panel installers, and customer service representatives. Current Electric offers 5-star tech experience with training, coaching, and support, along with competitive pay and benefits. Apply at currentelectricco.com/careers. That's currentelectricco.com/careers. Current Electric has been serving Milwaukee since 1983 and is an equal opportunity employer.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our outdoor sale. Right now, get unbeatable deals on our quality selection of spring supplies for outdoor projects. Like all Livingston vegetable and flower seeds, 25% off MSRP. 20-pound bags of KT Nut and Fruit Blend bird food, just $28.99. For welding projects, get 10% off all Steelworks welding stock. And rewards members save $100 on men's cat waterproof alloy toe boots. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
Sunday. That's right, we're back on the air. Here at Great Lakes Dragaway, we're working hard to prepare for the 2023 race season with new and exciting events being finalized soon to add to our yearly races like Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Bugfest. You can now take advantage of our early season pass sale. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Don't forget to book your corporate or private event now as dates are filling up fast. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
They played some tight games, but they played.
Sorry. You can never be too sure. I've got a cold.
Yes, but you also have a cough button over there.
Or an off button.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
I'm not going to do well. I think that was on camera
at all. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
When I went looking for a place to rent, I wore a mask, but they could still see I'm black. The landlord told me
nothing available.
When I went looking for an apartment, I wore a mask. Obviously, I'm Latino. They said
the place has been rented.
My wife and I were house hunting.
We wore masks, but we're Asian American. And the real estate agent said,
you won't be happy here.
If you suspect housing discrimination because of your race, file a complaint with HUD. Go to HUD.gov/fair housing. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Go on and close the curtains, 'cause all we need is candlelight, you and me, and a bottle of wine.
All hat, no cattle. Or alternately, big hat, no cattle. Big cat, no cattle. No? No, that doesn't work.
I could see Big Cat like having a ranch and get some longhorn steers and out there just tending to the land. I could see Big Cat doing that.
I fancy myself a guy who, if I win the lottery, I'll just get a ranch out in Montana somewhere, maybe raise some cattle, things of that nature.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get to Justin Garcia to explain why a 41-point loss doesn't mean anything. Or maybe it does, coming up. But we got a tweet from Mark, who has been listening too much to Homer. Mark, all due respect, okay? He tweets in, can you explain how Rodgers showing up in April makes any difference to the Packers? Favre showed up on family night, and 2 years later the Packers won the Super Bowl, which is Homer's argument. If Jordan Love is the guy, it doesn't matter. This is frustrating to me. Because just because Aaron Rodgers could overcome all the blank storm that 2008 was, because he is a super califragilistic quarterback, does not mean that Jordan Love is capable of that. It is possible that Jordan Love needs ideal circumstances for his confidence, for his preparation, for his growth. Not everyone is wired the same. And winning a Super Bowl is not just because your quarterback is great. Otherwise, the Packers would have won another frickin' Super Bowl on Aaron Rodgers' watch. Right? Correct. So this idea that, they won a Super Bowl in the end, so 2008 didn't matter. Yeah, because of Rodgers' immense greatness and the fact that everything else fell into place. Do I need to remind everyone how close you guys were to this going really, really, really badly? The transition of Brett Favre weaseling his way to Minnesota and winning a Super Bowl for the Vikings, who have 0 Super Bowls, and your 2010 team not getting a Deshaun Jackson punt return that allowed you to win your last 2 and make the playoffs and then go on an unlikely run to win the Super Bowl. Like, do I have to remind everyone how close it was to this not being a happy ending story for the Favre-Rodgers transition? Now, maybe Rodgers wins a Super Bowl later in his career after not winning the Super Bowl in 2010, but maybe not. So you want ideal conditions for the kid to take over. And I'm not making this up because I'm bored or because I want drama. Listen to the people that have been in NFL locker rooms. You don't want this on your plate. I'm not here standing for Rodgers. I'm not trying to create leverage for him. Look, I am not rooting against Jordan Love. But if I was Brian Gutekunst, I want to make it as easy as I can on him because it's hard to play quarterback in the NFL. And the last thing you need is the guy you're replacing standing over your shoulder with a $60 million paycheck waiting to be cashed. Am I crazy?
No, and I think the part that people don't understand, because everybody just assumes, well, you're mentally tough. You're in the NFL. You need to play. And there is that component of it. But the thing that you don't understand and why you hear this all the time from coaches, you heard it all when it was Tim Tebow, the distraction that comes with that. You are so focused on getting your job done, and you know how NFL players are, and I think most athletes, there's routines, there's things, because it's difficult, you have to train yourself to do things over and over. You want to stick to the path. You want to stick to your plan. Understanding there's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be pendulum swings and adversity, but you don't want to self-inflict things. And quarterbacks are different. This isn't Al Harris holding out or Ryan Grant. Those are small distractions. It's you move on with your life and then you hope that they come back.
Sure.
Quarterback is just a lot different, and that's why they get the attention that they get. That's why they're paid the way they are. And when you're talking about this situation playing out, where you're giving your fourth-year quarterback his first opportunity to take hold of a football team and lead it, what on earth do you think? Do you really think that's going to be beneficial to him and his development? to hold out because you want to get a conditional pick? Because you're going to force the hand of, Aaron Rodgers to sit. If he comes in there, and I just went over this, the idea of veteran players are going to be looking, maybe there's still a chance Aaron's going to be our quarterback. The young guys not really knowing, sure, how do I even handle this? Is Aaron going to be taking reps? If he's out there playing, is he backing up Jordan Love? You don't allow for Jordan to grow into that spot because it's complete chaos. You don't grow a ton in complete chaos.
Because you lived it. You were there.
You weather the storm. When you're in chaos, you weather the storm and you try to figure out, how do I survive this so that we can get to the next step? You don't want to be in that stage. You want to be in the stage of, all right, here we are. We have a blank slate and we are moving forward. And it's going to be progression. We're going to tamp down expectations. Aaron Rodgers comes in on April 17th, and if he stays for a week, if he stays for a day, it is going to be, this is everything. Jordan Love is going to be answering all the questions. His teammates are going to be asking, Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst. And you could say, well, hey, be a pro and grow up. Yeah, that you are asking those guys to do it. But are you going to be as focused on your job if you have all of these other things? That's why you hear those quotes, because the people that are in those locker rooms know it sucks so much energy and just capacity to do other things out of that. Yes, you're still going to go do your work, but you're not going to have the same amount that you're going to be able to pour into it if you're dealing with all this stuff. And that's why this is a key date and leverage if Aaron decides to use it, which, again, would be complete chaos up at Lambeau.
We'll shift gears and talk about the Bucs. I'm sure Justin Garcia can weigh in on the Rodgers-Giannis comp. He's scheduled to join us next. Tausch, tell us a little bit about AmFam. We had a great time at AmFam Field yesterday. Got all kinds of great things going on with them. We love our partnership with them.
We do, and we just saw a new hockey coach was hired by the University of Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
You got Fickle. There's going to be some new cats coming in for the Hoops team. And Badger fans, American Family Insurance wants to give you and a friend a VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game during the 2023 season. You and a friend will receive pregame, sideline, or courtside passes, tour of the facility, and tons of merch to support your Badgers. I've been looking at, there's a sick new black vest for golf season. I don't know if that's going to be in there, but if it is, I'm signing up even though I'm not eligible. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. That's amfam.com/Badgers to enter. No purchase is necessary. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
JG next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Are you ready for a new shower? Kohler Services is a local, end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler. Family-owned in Wisconsin for 150 years, Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower this year with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com today to request your free quote and tell them that Mark Tauscher sent you. That's kswisconsin.com.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
At least twice as big
as the one you gave her
when you got engaged.
That's the definition of a big anniversary diamond.
Kessler's has lots of ways
for you to go twice as big.
We have twice as big diamonds from diamond mines.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of Mother Earth.
And the ones that exist in the world today are all there will ever be.
Kessler's also has twice as big created diamonds.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart
of a ball of lightning, a miniature star, inside a plasma chamber.
It's a wonder to behold.
Kessler's also has twice as big flickering firelight diamonds.
These natural diamonds flicker with all the warm colors of firelight
instead of the cold colors of ice.
Flickering firelight diamonds are another wonder to behold.
And all of these twice as big diamonds are for her.
The best wonder to behold of all.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Marquette greatness, Don Kojas. His number 44 retired, and his greatness continued in the pros. 12 seasons for 6 different teams, scored almost 10,000 points, played in 2 All-Star games, scored 42 in a game, and a great leaper, according to Dr. J. And the now often used alley-oop play, it may have started with a pass by Guy Rogers and a dunk by Don Kojas. Don Kojas, greatness at Marquette and after Marquette.
Help protect your team with slam dunk coverage. Sageniak Clinic can coach you on ways to save money on medical and specialty plans through United Healthcare, which is one of the largest provider networks in Wisconsin. Call John Sageniak Jr. 262-783-6161. That's John Jr. 262-783-6161. Sageniak Clinic, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or its affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people with different political views and life experiences are coming together through the power of conversation, and it feels good. Hear more at lovehasnolabels.com/one-small-step. A message from StoryCorps Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
That music means. Whether it's pregame, Bucks shots, postgame, Bucks OT, Bucks talk. Oh, and by the way, doing the color alongside Dave Kane during every Bucks home game.
What a grinder.
It is our Bucks buddy. He does a great job.
Legit.
Justin,
not this fake grinding that we say Big Cat and
no, he grinds.
You or me or Jesse. He actually does grind.
Yeah, he actually has a whole other job, too.
He has to, work, yeah.
God, that must suck. It is our friend Justin Garcia on Wilde Tausch. JG, what's up, man?
Not much. No comment on the that must suck part, too, in case anyone's listening. So I'll leave that up to you.
Well, we would hope so. Hey, JG, is this because last night was in essence a closeout? It had the Milwaukee Bucks beaten Boston. They'd be up 4 with the tiebreaker. It was a Rap City, USA for the 1 seed. People are saying, experts in the NBA are saying that the top 3 teams in the whole league, some will argue Denver, but Philly, Boston, Milwaukee are the best team in the league, and they're all in the Eastern Conference, that this 1 seed, and I've said the 1 seed in NFL has been the most important 1 seed ever. Hold up. And I've been wrong. But with this, is this not the most important 1 seed that the Bucks have looked at in the fact that they will not have to take on both of those teams? They'll have to take on the winner if things play out the way that everyone expects them to.
Okay. So first of all, I guess we're not doing WrestleMania preview. I thought that's what you had me for. So I'll shift gears to the Bucks. But
what a pro you are! What a pro!
Yeah, I'm prepared for that as well. No, I think the 1 seed is more important for the Bucks than it is for the Celtics, because if you're Boston, they have more versatility than, and we've talked about how the Bucks have added to their versatility. They can play different ways. But the Celtics' versatility is they just have waves and waves of perimeter depth and guys that can create shots and guys that can defend multiple positions. So they look at the matchup with the Bucks, they look at a matchup with the Sixers, and they say, we feel pretty confident with either of these teams and whoever it is out west. Not that the Bucks would say, hey, we're not confident against the Celtics, but history hasn't been very kind in this series. And, you know, you look at this season series as a whole, the Celtics manhandled you on Christmas Day. And sure, the Bucks weren't fully healthy. They were coming off a 5-game road trip, but Boston dominated them. Then on Valentine's Day, Boston sat all their regulars and essentially played their G League team and took the Bucks to overtime. And then you had the massacre last night. So Boston knows we match up pretty well with this team. If you're the Bucks, I think last night when you saw some of the issues you could have with defending the perimeter for the Celtics, you look at that series and you say, we need to put this off as long as possible. And, hey, maybe Philadelphia-Boston in the second round, the 76ers feel like, well, Joel Embiid can change the series. Maybe they do the dirty work for us. So I think it is important, more than it was a couple of years ago and more than it's been the last few years for the Bucks, just because of how top-heavy the Eastern Conference is. And I should point out, too, you don't want to undersell what the Cavs have done, because part of you still wonders, are we sleeping too much on the Cavs? Because by the numbers, they've been one of the two best teams in the league for months now, and things that we had traditionally looked at, like point differential and net rating. You know, in years past, you'd say, hey, this team has the best. They should be the best team. Cleveland's right up there, and nobody's mentioning them. So it won't be easy either way. But if you can avoid having to play Philly and Boston, that is very crucial, and that's why I do think it's more important this year than ever before.
Yeah, it's, JG, listening to the guys after and how they reacted, do you feel like the Bucks know that this Boston Celtics team matches up really well with them, or was last night just a, hey, we've had it's been a tough road stretch, we've played a bunch of games, you had a back-to-back. Was it more that, or is it more Celtics are really going to be tough to beat? What was the vibe that you were getting?
I think it's a combination. I mean, it was actually 6 games in 9 days for the Bucks, and 6 of those games were in 5 different cities, where you started with that home game against the Spurs on the 22nd, going all the way into last night. So it wasn't a whole lot of rest. It was a lot of back-to-backs and just a whole lot of games crammed into a short period of time. For the Celtics, on the flip side, they were well rested. They last played Tuesday. They didn't have any back-to-backs in that stretch that we mentioned. So that is a part of it. It doesn't explain a 41-point loss and how Boston just dominated you. But, you know, I also think, and this is not to take away from anything Boston did because they dominated you, but Boston had a lot more to play for. Not to say the Bucks didn't have anything to play for, because it was a big game for the Bucks too, but that was a statement game for the Celtics. And for the last couple of weeks, all we heard is, what's going on with the Celtics? Do you trust this team? They've let the Bucks catch them. All the talk had started to be the Bucks and the 76ers. And this was the chance for the Celtics to say, well, we can still get the 1 seed, and we think we'll beat this team. We did last year.
So, JG, as an avid listener, and we're talking to Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, our Bucks buddy. As an avid listener to all your work, because I drive a lot and you're on the radio a lot, I listened after that Spurs game, because that was a ballet night, and you had outlined all these games that were lying ahead, and you mentioned the 5 cities and the 6 games in 9 days and everything else. Were you still taken aback by what happened last night?
Oh, yeah. I knew it was going to be tough, and, you know, going into the game, we always talk about gut feeling, myself and Dave Kane, before the game starts, and we were both like, you know, I don't know how to feel about this one. It seems like everything is set up for, man, the Bucks are going to essentially clinch the 1 seed tonight, and it's great. But what if that doesn't happen? And that's started to creep in your mind. I did not see an even 20-point win, and it was really quicksand, that one thing after another. You know, the first 8 minutes of that game were everything you expected it would be, where it was back and forth, tough shots being made, and a high pace of basketball. And then all of a sudden the Bucks started missing shots, and it just started to feel like deja vu from Game 7 of last year, where you couldn't hit a 3. and the Celtics were raining threes. But again, I think you saw some of that fatigue setting in, but it's especially tough when you're coming off that stretch. And this is a team that's going to challenge you and push the pace and put as much stress on your perimeter defenders as they do, that in the second quarter the wheels just fell off, and the Celtics had no interest in taking their foot off the gas pedal.
So you've got headbutts, you've got Chris Middleton getting his face split open and getting stitches, you got losing by 41 points. What now? Like, what is it for people that don't understand what the playoff picture looks like? What do the Bucks have to do to get that the most important number one seed since the Packers had it in 2021 in the NFC playoffs?
Well, Sunday's going to be interesting because it is another big game for the Bucks to get up for it and basically put this behind them with the Sixers. I'm curious to see what we see from Philly because at this point, with Boston winning last night, Philadelphia is pretty much locked into the 3 seed. They're 2 back of the Celtics in the loss column, and the Celtics own the tiebreaker. So not a whole lot of ground and time to make up that ground, I should say, for the Sixers. The Bucks are still in a good spot. You would still say mathematically they should end up being the 1 seed. Right now, it's a little over 80% chance that they have. And here's the deal, too. You just got to make sure the Celtics don't outplay you by more than 1 game. So even if the Celtics go 5-0 in these final 5 games, it's still just a 50% chance at getting the 1 seed. So if they go 5-0, as long as you go 4-1, you get it. If the Celtics stub their toe here, and that's the big thing with Boston, we heard about it from Joe Mazzulla before the game last night. Games like that against the Bucks, games against the Sixers, those haven't been the issue for the Celtics. It's been Tuesday in D.C. against the Wizards, a couple of weeks ago in Houston against the Rockets, a Jazz game who they play tonight on the road a couple of weeks ago. Those are the teams they've just not gotten up for, and those where those losses have come. So if the Celtics lose even once in these final 5, they got the Jazz tonight, 2 games with the Raptors, the Hawks, and 1 more game with the Sixers. If they lose once, you only have to go 3-2, and you're still the 1 seed. But you got to see something on Sunday. You have to obviously see a 180 in terms of the quality of play against the 76ers to not only increase your chance of the 1 seed, but also, if we examine these last few weeks, the Bucks have been great, and we point to what I think it's 26-5 now that they've gone since Chris Middleton's return. But in some of these games against Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, and I know that was a back-to-back as well, the Celtics game last night, the Sixers just after the All-Star break, the big games we circled, Bucks lost these games, and they were either thoroughly outplayed or they had some major issues in the fourth quarter. So you got to see that start to change when those are the teams you're going to be playing in the postseason, and it's got to start on Sunday.
JG, so just for someone that's interested, it's a night game Sunday, correct? I just want to make sure it's a 7 o'clock tip.
Yep.
You're checking your schedule. Are you going?
Yeah, no, because I'm going. Are you telling me Embiid and Harden might not be playing on Sunday?
I would assume Embiid is playing. Harden has been dealing with an Achilles issue. He just played the other night. Embiid missed one and a half games recently. He didn't play in the second half against the Bulls. I would assume Embiid is playing, especially since, look, Joel Embiid is playing to finalize the MVP, which he is going to win in a couple of weeks.
They're giving it to him anyways.
I would assume you'll see Embiid, but I'm more of the mindset of what is Philly going to look like? Because if there's a good chance you're going to play the Bucks or the Celtics somewhat early in the second round of the playoffs, and you have Boston as your next opponent after the Bucks game, what are they actually going to show? And what are they going to give you if they know this is going to be our second round opponent and we're locked into 3, so there's no incentive for us to push forward?
All right, Justin, we'll see how this all plays out. Can you let me know when that Bucks house show where you do the real estate and the Bucks analysis is on next?
Interest rates are so high that it's probably housing market's dipped a little bit.
That one was actually canceled. We couldn't find the time with the Brewers starting, so that's been put on the back burner.
That's a disappointment. Hey, man, we appreciate your insights as always. We'll be listening to you on the Bucks Radio Network, and we look forward to our next potluck together. Thanks, pal.
See you guys.
Keep grinding. That is our friend Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy. If you joined us late, maybe you strayed away from your radio momentarily there and you didn't catch all of his insight. If you're one of those that, hey, why don't those guys talk Bucks more? Well, get that entire clip, that entire segment, or to the entire show on Wisconsin On Demand, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Thanks to David and his team for supporting the show and for supporting Wisconsin On Demand. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Show me your Guinness. We want to see you enjoying Guinness pints this month at your favorite Milwaukee area establishments. Take a picture with your Guinness, scan the QR code, and enter to win amazing prizes all month when you show me your Guinness. Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. Keep those pens and highlighters handy during Gruber Law Office's One Champs Week here on 94.5 ESPN. The bracket is coming to an end, and that means one lucky team will come away from Houston as the next champion. Who's going to be cutting down the nets after the final buzzer? Stay tuned to 94.5 ESPN all week long as we hit the hardwood for all things college hoops. One Champs Week on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Magoo's on the Mound is where you want to be for your opening day pregame party on April 3rd. With a special opening time of 7 a.m., catch 94.5 ESPN's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy live from Magoo's. The party continues with Wilde Tausch broadcasting live at Magoo's from 9 till noon. Join in on the outdoor action with drinks, a cookout, music, and cornhole. Plus, Magoo's is less than a mile from the ballpark, so park your ride and take a free shuttle to the game. Magoo's on the Mound, 59th and Blue Mound in Milwaukee. Visit magoos.biz for more.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with over 40 years of experience saving businesses money. Another year has come and gone. How did yours go? Do you have more money in the bank than last January? Do you just have a job, or do you run a business? 85% of business owners just have a job. Our years of experience and proven strategies help you run your business profitably and get it ready to sell when you are ready. That's the end game, right? We help you look at the numbers and understand what they mean. Just ask Jason, Michelle, or Peter, who sold their businesses this year for a nice price. Do you want to get a decent salary, pay what you owe, and make a profit too? Let us help you improve your business so you can work less and make more. Sounds pretty good, right? To get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, book a call or meeting at nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to technology to reducing the risk of fraud, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
I lived alone and was having problems with my landlord. He's a creep. One night I'm watching TV and I hear my landlord letting himself in. Hey, get out. You can't keep coming in.
I'm just here to fix your fridge and spend some time together.
Get out. I'm reporting you.
Don't make a federal case of it.
A federal case? Sexual harassment in housing is against federal law. If you are harassed, file a complaint with HUD. Go to HUD.gov/fair housing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks again to Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy. You hear him on the Bucks Radio Network in just about every form. Before the game, during the game, halftime, after the game.
It feels like he's a little nervous
I
that the
sense that
Celtics
too.
matchup is. The Celtics are a tough match for the.
Sounds like he's nervous about that, and you're nervous about going to another game where the opponent doesn't play some of its best players.
I think this will be my
Fair?
6th or 7th game I've went to, and at least 2 or 3 of those have been not fully loaded,
management.
the teams we played. But the good news is that the Bucks are going to be off a 2 days rest. We're going to see the Bucks, and if they smoke a Sixers team that doesn't want to show up, I'll be happier than a clam.
Even with a late start time. All right. Thanks again to Justin. Again, if you missed that, you can check it out on Wisconsin On Demand, presented by Grubel Offices. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour by revisiting our poll question. A lot of people with strong opinions on no statues, period. That was not an option in the poll. But there are a lot of write-in votes. We'll talk about that to kick off the 11 o'clock hour, which kicks off in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Drew and Jonathan Scott here to tell you that American Family Insurance wants to protect your dreams. So whether you're at home singing in the shower,
Every note,
or prefer singing your heart out in the car like Drew,
cruising.
you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
What was the final straw for Jeff Levering?
When I walked into my son's room and there was frost on the hardware on the inside of the house. My wife was getting upset with the drafts coming through the doors. That was it.
Time to call Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
With all the options that Pella has, everybody on your staff has done a great job of making a really difficult decision super simple.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 4 years. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 3/31/2023.
Sunday. That's right, we're back on the air. Here at Great Lakes Dragaway, we're working hard to prepare for the 2023 race season with new and exciting events being finalized soon to add to our yearly races like Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Bugfest. You can now take advantage of our early season pass sale. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Don't forget to book your corporate or private event now as dates are filling up fast. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
College Hoops fans, it's Jen Latta from ESPN. It's almost time to cut down the nets, and Celsius wants to make sure you fuel up for the madness. Visit your local retailer to pick up your favorite Celsius Essential Energy drink. Celsius has 15 different flavors for you to choose from, including Arctic Vibe, Sparkling Lemon Lime, Fantasy Vibe, Strawberry Lemonade, and many more. Bracket already busted? Use Celsius for the essential energy you need. Stay active and energized all day long with Celsius Essential Energy drinks.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I'm
Is there a better feeling than when one of your buddies is going to stick it to you and you foil their plan? Like, they're ready. They're going to embarrass you. They're going to give you some grief. And they're setting you up. And you see it coming and you prevent it from happening. I was singing along to Andy Grammer. Let's act this out. Big Cat, let's do it.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll wait for you.
Hey, Jason, who sings this song?
Andy Grammer.
Let's keep it that way.
That would have been good, but I didn't let you do it. I saw it coming. What I did not see coming is the polling on this statue question, which, Tausch, bravo to you, and to Venus de Milo, and to David with his junk hanging out. But that is not at the Louvre. Have we ever established where David with his junk visible is? Not at the Louvre?
Not confirmed that, no.
You're familiar with this
d'Orsay,
statue,
maybe?
though?
Might be at Musée d'Orsay.
Dorsey Levens, my favorite Packer. The poll question, today's at Wilde Tausch poll. Tausch and I agree that based purely on football accomplishments, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers deserve statues at Lambeau Field. That doesn't mean you have to agree with us, but we agree. We also agree that the Bart Starr baby statue that is at the Resch Center should be a bigger statue outside Lambeau Field. You want Statue Park, like what do the Yankees have at Yankee
Monument
Stadium
Park.
again?
No, it's Monument
There you go.
Park. Yep.
So that's the poll question, is if you could only give one statue and taking, and this is in all caps, everything into account, who are you giving your statue to? 4 or 12? 2,188 votes. 67.1. Yeah, I don't know why I said it that way. I'm glad you pointed that out. That was bad. 67.1% of you, Aaron Rodgers. 32.9% of you, Brett Favre. And a lot of comments saying Brett Favre, allegedly, stole money from poor people. And if that didn't happen, this poll looks a lot different, I think. But I don't think people are all that enthusiastically voting for Rodgers. I think he's benefiting from the controversy that Brett Favre finds himself embroiled in.
So, do you put a subsidiary poll and just say, do you think Aaron Rodgers should have a statue outside of Lambeau Field? Do you think people say yes or no?
Well, I'm getting a lot of people who don't think there should be a statue at all, which is our discussion that we had at the beginning of the show.
But they wouldn't say that about Bart Starr.
No, that's true.
Would you
put
put a Bart Starr statue up? Everybody, you know what? For everybody that says that, and I have fought the statue battle on a couple of fronts with living people, but everybody that goes to Lambeau, you know what they go try to find and go do when they're just tooling around and not jumping for a game and then leaving? You know what they go try and find to get a picture in front of?
The Lambeau Leap statue.
Vince Lombardi. Everybody wants to get a picture next to Vince. Everybody. So, while, yes, there's a lot of anti-statue sentiment, now that I've gotten the Musée d'Orsay Louvre treatment, I'm pro-statue. I'm on board.
David and his junk are at the Galleria dell'Accademia in Florence, Italy. Thank you to both Wikipedia and to Sarah Tauscher for that information. She's texting that location to me now, but she's listening on delay, so she's going to think I got it faster than I did. But the bottom line is, thank you, Sarah, for your service. Thank you, Wikipedia, for your service.
So I understand that, but you can't sit here and tell me that what is the harm in having a great, beautiful Bart Starr statue next to Lombardi or in Statue Corner or Monument Park or whatever it's going to be? You have that big Johnsonville hut that you put together. Put it over there.
The tailgate zone, yeah.
Yeah. Statues need to make a pushback, and I think when all's said and done, Aaron Rodgers should have a statue at Lambeau.
So are you abandoning – so where do you stand on your death statute?
No, I'm changing. I want
Okay.
you to get a statue in the back end, yeah. You have to be done playing. I don't want
Well,
anybody
you're
to get the
still
statue
alive,
while
so
they're
you can
playing.
see it. So what the Favre situation, if you are willing to change your policy,
that's
what would you be doing about it now? That's the
I don't
problem.
know. That is a problem. Yeah, but you know what? I want to be able to deal with problems. So we'll figure that out. We're not there. We're not going to do it. We're not putting like a blanket over the top of it. All I'm saying is I'm not delving into that today. I am looking
understand.
at it. Bart Starr needs to have a big old statue ASAP. Aaron Rodgers should get one, I don't know, 10 or 15 years after he's done playing. Be able to bring his crew, whoever that's going to be, back to celebrate the ribbon. That might be the great opening for the reunification of the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, but he's done enough to deserve a statue.
As of now, there are only two men that have statues. I mentioned the Lambeau Leap statue. Those are fans. Leroy Butler is not in the Lambeau Leap statue. It is designed for you, the fan, to be the center of that statue. You're jumping in the statue, which, by the way, is a great idea. Outstanding idea.
Fun.
Love it.
Is it bronze, though? Do you end up hitting bronze fans?
I have not jumped into it, so that's a question for those that have done it. You got to be careful. You don't want to bonk your head on it.
What
when
if you're
jumping in the
vertically
stands.
challenged? How do you manage that?
You get a footstool.
Big Linda can get up. Anybody can get up. So it's Lombardi and it's Lambeau. And that's it. That's the list. Both of whom were dead when they made those statues. Bart Starr is no longer with us. I personally would argue that, again, I love Monument Park. I love that idea. I mean, you can even put it in an area at Titletown if you really wanted to, right?
That's where you should put it. Go ahead.
I would argue that you could commission a Ron Wolf statue. Quite frankly, I know that I give this guy more credit than others do, but I would have one for Bob Harlan. Because I believe Bob Harlan started everything by changing the way the entire operation worked so Ron Wolf could take the job and run the football operation. I think you should put one up for Mark. No, I can't. A Mark Murphy statue of him on the tube with his hands up? I mean, come on, who says no?
I don't think up by Aaron's Hill? I'd be on board with that.
Made of bronze with an inflatable tuber down below him. I'm just saying, I don't think – I understand there's risk involved, and we're not getting into the dead statue rule. But I don't think there's anything wrong. I like statues. I like commemorating the great players and the great people that made your organization what it is. I don't know where you draw the line.
Let's start this with Bart Starr. You want to get – let's take the easy, low-hanging fruit, commission it, throw a big, beautiful statue of Bart up, and Packer fans will love it.
Yes.
Will love it. So let's just do it. That's an easy one. But the way we pulled this, and obviously with Brett and all of the stuff that he has allegedly going on, we're not going down that road. But Aaron Rodgers should have a statue 10 or 15 years after he's done playing too. It should be a no-brainer. The fact that it's not, I think, is the sign of the times. But let's talk, especially, let's say things don't go great with Jordan Love, and we're in a 10 or 15-year lull here in Lambeau land. People are going to look at Aaron Rodgers' whole career in a whole different spectrum than what they're looking at it right
now. So what would the statue, you love the Dirk Nowitzki statue. Would it be Rodgers punching in his code to show up on April 17th for the start of the offseason program?
I don't think it would be the championship belt. I don't know what. We'll worry about that later. I don't think I'm going to worry about that right now. All I'm saying is, do you think people view it? Do you think there's enough anti-statuites out there that would say, "The hell with it, we're not doing a statue. Let's just not do it"? Or do you think Rodgers would win a plurality of yes, he needs a statue?
I don't know how. I'm struggling on social media to figure out how many people legitimately just can't stand him, and how many people are just ready to move on from him. Like our guy, Big Cat, he don't like him, Aaron Rodgers, not at all.
I think part of that
you're
shtick,
strong.
though, too. Part of
Is that shtick? Is that shtick?
No.
Big shtick?
No, I dislike him as much as I've portrayed.
In
on the air.
15 years, when he's in the Hall of Fame and done, you're still going to hate him, or you're going to say, you know what? Yeah, he personality-wise, I don't like him, but man, did he give us a lot of great memories and great football.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been my stance. It's the person I dislike. The play on the field.
But I'm not asking you to like him.
You don't just dislike him.
Well, I think he's not very good anymore, and he's not good enough to win a championship at this point in his career. I do believe that to be accurate.
And so if he wins with the Jets, will you apologize to him, and will you say this was a Packers thing?
Will I apologize to him? Sure. I will issue a direct apology to Aaron Rodgers. But the team right now has a 9.5 win total, so I ain't terribly scared.
He's not even on the team.
But you just say it. You hate his guts.
Yeah, I hate everything he stands for.
Okay. So
there ain't no hedge in Big
on the
Cat.
statue.
Hey, there ain't no hedge in Big Cat. So, Joshy, I don't know if you like statues, but if you're going to statuefy somebody, you would have to agree, even though you hate Aaron Rodgers, that he would be worthy of a statue.
Yeah, Ron and I talked about this off the air. As much as I dislike him personally, I can remove.
Well, I wish we could have gotten that in a podcast.
I can remove that and understand that he's never done anything off the field that would actually cause you to concern of maybe we shouldn't give this guy a statue. Aaron Rodgers' play on the field and as an all-time football player in the NFL necessitates a statue if there's a place for it.
You just think he's douchey.
Yeah.
And he really
phony.
rubs you the wrong way.
And a fraud.
Yeah. Other than that, though, nothing that rises to no statue status.
Right, correct.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. We will continue this conversation, and we will also move on. I'm told by Jesse on the rundown of the program here that Tausch has had a myriad of IPTs that he wanted to ask about. I'm a little leery of this because usually you forget
I
them.
don't remember him, though. This is the problem when you push me off 3-4 days. Wanted to do this Monday. Wanted to do it Tuesday. We didn't. And I'm not going to lie to you.
with that. That's not my fault.
I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just telling you, if you're going to do IPTs, go through the text strings and look through because I don't remember which ones they are.
Should we call Jesse and make him read off the IPTs to remind Tausch of what he's going through?
I love that idea. I love that idea.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
All right, Big Cat will get a hold of Jesse. I want to remind you, because I am headed here after the show is over to Fleet Farm. And right now, you can ring in spring with great deals on apparel at Fleet Farm. They've got something for everyone in the family, from top brands like Columbia, Under Armour, and Carhartt. Plus, you'll get everyday free shipping on apparel at FleetFarm.com. And as you get ready for your spring yard cleaning, Fleet Farm is your one-stop shop for everything you need. So check out their selection of lawnmowers and string trimmers and chainsaws and more to make sure your yard cleanup is stress-free. Check out FleetFarm.com to find out more. Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955. Joshy, chances of Jesse actually taking your call and helping the show come up with Tausch's IPTs, percentage-wise, is where?
110%. He gets airtime and doesn't have to do anything.
Brimming with confidence. We'll find out next. It's Wilde Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. Show me your Guinness. We want to see you enjoying Guinness pints this month at your favorite Milwaukee area establishments. Take a picture with your Guinness, scan the QR code, and enter to win amazing prizes all month when you show me your Guinness. When you're injured, call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 30 years and proudly partnering with Wilde Tausch. Miss any of the show? Find it with Wisconsin On Demand. Presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pie customer.
As a small business, we're always looking for ways that we can offer the quality product and get some cost savings.
Meet Michelle from J.J. Pfister Distilling Company, a small business in California. When looking for workers' comp coverage tailored to the company's needs, she discovered Pie Insurance.
We heard about Pie Insurance being geared for a small business, gave Pie a call, and ended up switching.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypie.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate, so your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
We saved about 30% off of our workers' comp insurance when we switched to Pie.
It's as easy as pie to get the savings you deserve. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pie. Or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypie.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Want to train with an award-winning PGA golf pro? Now's your chance. Take advantage of one-on-one lessons from Wisconsin PGA Award winner Andy Barrett for an in-depth and thorough lesson on industry-leading golf simulators. Book your session now at xgolfmfanfield.com.
My partners had told me I should get my knee replaced. I was in my 40s, and I decided that I wouldn't do that.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog, who found regenerative medicine years ago and became a believer.
It changed my life around. It improved me to a point where I was able to jog again.
That's when Dr. Herzog switched his focus from surgery to helping his patients with natural biologics.
I've treated at least 5,000 patients. I believe your body has everything it needs to heal itself.
Today, you'll find Dr. Herzog at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine that can give lasting pain relief with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery.
I have patients coming up to me that I did 10 years ago saying, Doc, my elbow's still working great. I'm playing tennis 3 days a week.
Call QC Kinetics now to explore alternative ways to deal with your pain. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
To get down, I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone because I get stupid. I mean outrageous. Stay away from me if you're contagious, cause I'm the winner. No, not a loser. To be an MC is what I choose. Ladies love me, girls adore me.
So you were 110% confident. Did you succeed, Big Cat?
Well, I have Jesse Nelson at the ready in front of a microphone ready to speak. Tausch said he's good and we don't need him. So do we just leave him sitting there at a mic and not let him talk, or do we give him opportunity?
Yes, because here's the deal. And Jason, we called you on your day off. I'm all about work-life balance. I want people, when they take their days off, Jesse has taken 2 days off because he's worked very, very hard. He's done our show. He had a host this week. He does Prep Mania. He has all these show sheets he's got to do.
Gosh.
And when Jesse takes a day off, I don't want to call him in for something. So we're going to give Jesse his day off today and not make him work. I think that's fair, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Why did you want me on, though? Because I added more to the program than he would be in this instance?
You volunteered. You text volunteering to come on. Well, you did. I would not have texted you on that.
I got a fair amount of trouble for that because then I also appeared on Rutledge and Hamilton and Homer and Tony, and Jesse's now texting in behind the scenes that he's not off. Well, then why the hell isn't he doing the show?
Then why is he not doing the show?
I'm not off.
No. Okay, so now he's definitely off. Okay, he's done. All right, so I have a couple of ITP. So I remembered the IPTs. That's why I don't need Jesse.
Thank you for your service.
I know.
Yes.
Bless you, Jesse. Continue grinding away. I'm sure he's probably hosting someone else's show today and trying to kind of maneuver his way and Lou Gehrig his way into a job that he'll take over from Skip whatever.
Wally Pipp, indeed.
Wally Pipp. All right, so 2 things happened that I want to get the IPT on. And I thought you had one too, Jason, but maybe I'm wrong. So I told you I love Sacre Coeur
I do have
when
one.
we were over.
Uh-huh.
It's one of my favorites. So I'll do this one and you do yours so we can give Jesse the day. It's a beautiful church up on top of the hill, and you can overlook Paris completely. Absolutely, if you go, must-stop spot. And up there they have this artist's, it's almost like an artist's market where people are drawing things. There's paintings for sale. There's food. And it's a really cool spot. And there's people that sketch. Okay, they do sketching. So if you sat down with your family, they'd sketch it out.
They're sketching.
So Eleanor really wants to do it. Max doesn't, but we're like, oh, it's going to be so cute. We get both the kids and blah, blah, blah. We sketch it up. It'll be fun. Eleanor's eating it up. She's got her beret on. She is as Parisian as she's ever going to be. So she is just fired up to do it. And most of the spots are full. People are sketching and whatever. So there's this dude sitting there, and we're like, all right, I don't want to sit up here all day, even though we ended up sitting up there anyways. So let's go do this. And I could tell Max didn't really want to do it. And I could kind of tell old girl, she was kind of like, I don't know if I really like this gal, but she's doing this. I don't know about the... So we throw Eleanor down with this dude, and we're sitting there watching and kind of meandering around. And
so it's just Eleanor? It's just Eleanor now being sketched?
It's just that, well, you have to do it in increments. You didn't have them both sitting together because the space was limited. So it's Eleanor sat, they sketched, Max came in and sat, and whatever. So he starts sketching old little Eleanor, and as he's doing it, you can tell he's taking a phone call. So he's sketching, he's got his phone out like this. So he's doing it, and I could see Sarah's not happy. Like, what the hell are you doing? So we went and decommissioned this sketcher and said, no, we're not doing this. We waited for the young gal to do it. Was that IPT by us? Was it IPT by him? You don't sit and sketch and you're talking on the phone. He literally's got his arm here and he's doing this with his hand. He's talking on the phone, not hands-free. The phone in his elbow like this, and he's kind of half-tailing it. So we decommissioned, cut it off, went to old girl, did the sketching. It's beautiful. Love the actual end result. But who is it IPT on? Is it us? Is it him? Is it what?
My mouth is agape right now on a myriad of levels, including, did you know the French phrase for, hey, stop half-tailing this effort, we're going to go to some other sketcher? Like, how do you put a stop to it when he's mid-pencil stroke?
Old girl just went up and went like this, kind of the universal, like, stop, 2 hands waving, and just said, I think she actually blamed Max for it, but really it was, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. We're paying you
total
good money.
IPT by him, no doubt.
Yeah, total IPT. Didn't feel bad. I think at first we felt bad because she was looking for an out. She was Goodying, hoping Rodgers was retired. she was hoping he would say, I don't want to do this.
Did the exchange of money already take place?
No, you don't pay until it's done.
So how long was he sketching before you guys pulled the plug?
5 minutes, I would say.
How much of Eleanor was drawn? Like, could you tell
Well,
in
part
any
of
way
it
that
was
it was
kept,
a person?
He kept hitting his phone as he was sketching, so I think he had to erase some things. He had started off. He had a decent start. Nothing like facial or anything like that.
Did the fact that it's very American for us to demand polite and instant service the way ever cross your mind? Like, in Europe, things are like, if somebody's doing something and you're in front of them looking to like check out, they'll finish what they're doing before getting to you because the dynamics are sort of a little different over there.
No, that's fine. Hey, Big Cat, he wasn't on the phone when we started. He sat down and started the process, and it wasn't like he took some emergency call. He's on the phone the whole time he's sketching, probably just talking about Lord knows what. The fires, the protest. I don't know what he was talking. I don't speak French. But he's sitting there, wee, and scribbling as the phone, and that was, so I didn't feel bad at all. I thought it was IPT by him, and that was the end of it. Is that the consensus of what the group
I'm
is
Team Tausch. It's not even close. Like, again, if he was already on the phone, different. If he was 3/4 of the way through and it was an emergency phone call, different. Even had he put it on speaker and set it down and was talking while he was sketching, I might have allowed it. But
no,
holding it up to your ear with one hand and drawing with the other, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, and I know this isn't the same thing, but if I'm going in for like a knee replacement, I don't want my doc sitting there and he scrubs me in, he's doing all this, and all of a sudden he's on the horn talking about, he's calling into our show saying, I think Roger should get traded, you should get 2 1s, and he's down there replacing my knee. No, I'm not on to that. I'm out.
Scalpel. Yeah. And I don't understand why Rogers would show up on April 17th. Forceps. All right. So that was a really good IPT. I will save mine because I don't know if I was IPT or not, but I will remember it because very rarely do I get recognized, but it has something to do with being recognized. In fact, twice in the span of about a couple of hours it happened to me. It was very unexpected. I wasn't sure how to handle it.
Cool.
All right. Good one. Thank you. Whoa, Joshy. So did you leave? Did Jesse stay on hold the whole time, expecting us to go?
Oh no, he's in the studio in Madison, sitting directly in front of a mic, and I have this Madison IP button here where I could turn it on and put the volume up, and he could speak, but I haven't done that. So
why are you working for him
I'm
today?
Confused. Why is he? I thought he was off. He said he was taking off. I looked at the master schedule. It said he's off.
Well, if I were to say it in the nicest possible way, he's got other things to do today, other things in his workload that took precedent to producing Wilde Tausch.
Over our show?
What a slap in our face. Like what? That would be like me taking off today so that I could go and produce Dennis Semrau and Alex Strofe DeForest versus Wanakee basketball tonight. That's what that would be. Sorry, Jason can't do the show. Semrau needs me in DeForest tonight.
Threes makers.
Yeah, am I right?
Another title for Pewaukee. All right, that is it for today's IPT. It is IPT for Jesse to be working, but not working on our show.
What are you doing here? Jesse Nelson pops up on our screen. What are he doing here? I thought he was off just having beers down in Dubuque. What in the world is going on?
And yet Josh won't activate his microphone, so he can't
I like
speak.
that. Deuces, Jesse.
Whoa, Joshy is next. It's Wilde Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula on Advent's one-stop shop office-based procedures approach to solving breathing triangle problems.
A lot of folks are like, I don't want to go to surgery. You know, isn't there something else we can do? And at Advent, there is something else we can do. We have a whole host of office-based options where you don't have to go to surgery. We can do it under local anesthesia, get these things taken care of. How does that sound? And don't be surprised when you hear that a lot of people go for those options. When given the choice between surgery and office procedures, almost everybody that we talk to and give them the choice, they choose the office. That's not surprising. That's just understanding your patients and offering them the options that they would choose. So I think at Advent, when you put all that together, we are a one-stop shop for these issues.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
They talk about everything, but sports always comes first.
I'd watch it. Goody and Rogers on the Punter Show.
I want them to in the office. Yeah. I don't want to be a fly on the wall. No public stuff because they're going to be too political. I want the real stuff to come out.
What's the real stuff?
They're going to be cursing at each other. Rogers will be going off on Goody. Goody will be going off back. It's going to be like UN show meetings.
I was going to ask you if you were going to bring that up.
Spend your afternoons with Homer and Tony. Weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
What was the final straw for Jeff Levering?
When I walked into my son's room and there was frost on the hardware on the inside of the house. My wife was getting upset with the drafts coming through the doors. That was it.
Time to call Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
With all the options that Pella has, everybody on your staff has done a great job of making a really difficult decision super simple.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 4 years. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 3/31/2023.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our outdoor sale. Right now, get unbeatable deals on our quality selection of spring supplies for outdoor projects. Like your choice of Armor All Original Protecting Spray or Snow Foam Wash, just $8.99. Assorted 5-quart jugs of Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil, only $31.99. And all tires are on sale. Get $50 instant savings plus up to $75 in consumer rebates on select name brands when you buy a set of 4. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for 2, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack 0.5-liter bottles, essential everyday natural spring water, $3.99. 8 to 9-ounce potato chips, 15-ounce pretzels, or 10 to 12-ounce tortilla chips, selected varieties, 2 for $5. 5 to 8-ounce package, selected varieties, Sargento Deli-style sliced cheese, 2 for $6. 19.5 to 34-ounce package, selected varieties, Sara Lee fruit or cream pies, $5.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jesse Nelson, what are you still doing here? So, we didn't allow Jesse to come on earlier because he's so busy with all of his other shows he's doing. But we do need Jesse because he holds the drawing chips, literal chips, poker chips, for our trivia winner. So, Joshy, you are going to, in this very limited instance, turn his microphone on. Is that correct?
Yes, I will allow Jesse to speak. He is on we are running a tight ship over here, so if he gets crazy and starts, going off on his own, I do reserve the right to take him off at any time.
Well, Jesse, thank you for your service. Welcome to the show. You have been working. Like, I see you. You're in the ESPN Madison studio, so you are not off today. You're just off from our show.
Correct. Rutledge and Hamilton and Strofe all took the week off, so I've been filling in the afternoons. It's nice, my home from Stacy Bruner and Bruner Realty, it's nice to see it at 9 a.m. some days during the week, You don't get that too often. So got to enjoy some time at home in the morning working, coming in during the afternoon into the evenings. I'm a grinder, guys, so I knew you would be fine without me.
Justin Garcia-esque.
All right, speed it up here, Buster.
All right. I'm here to draw.
All right, you're going to draw our winner, so Josh can turn off your microphone again.
What was the guy's name today? And how come he stunk at trivia? That guy was bad. Come on. Caitlin Clark is the #1 basketball player in the world right now. And you didn't know that she was the Naismith Player of the Year? Come on, Tom.
It was Tom in Madison or Mugwanago or somewhere.
Madison.
But be that as it may, you have a winner, Jesse?
It wasn't him. Chris in Cedarburg is the winner for trivia this week. Tuesday's
Congratulations. Thank you for your service. Jesse, so if people really want to hear you on the radio today, I can't imagine anybody in that crowd, but nevertheless, how can they go about hearing you?
Rutledge and Hamilton 2-4 on 100.5 ESPN with our good friend Adam Mertz stepping in today, hosting with me. And then also tonight at 6 on ESPN Madison, Prep Mania top 10 games of the season. We're doing a countdown from 10 to 1, top 10 games of the year. Very exciting to put that together. So we're looking forward to debuting that tonight.
All right. Well, you can hear Jesse. If you felt Jesse withdrawal, that will allow you to catch as much Jesse as you could possibly want on a Friday afternoon in late March. Thank you, Jesse. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
I kind of faded away there. Time now for Wojashi.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde Tausch.
I really wanted to cut Jesse off mid-sentence as he was doing the self-promotion, but it was for the good of the station, so pat on the back to me for doing that there. Last night, on opening day at Dodger Stadium, a Dodgers fan in the outfield stands decided to hop the fence, run out into the outfield, and take a knee and propose to his girlfriend during the middle of the game. What are your thoughts on public proposals as they stand, as they exist? People who do them, even if they're doing it the right way and not getting absolutely tackled and smoked by a security guy, like this video you can see on Twitter that has like 2 million views. How do you think about people who take a extremely personal moment and let the whole world see it?
Yeah, I had this discussion on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning at 7:50, my normal spot, and I said, you know what? If you have appreciate you. I was waiting for you to drop that. It took big fingers took a little too long to hit that button. I think if you have a direct connection, let's say like Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston in that movie Breakup. Had they gotten married, they met at the Cubs game, it would be a fun little deal. If that's because that's a big fiber of it. You have a couple big Packer fans, and their love of the Packers is what drew them together, and then I don't mind it. Who are you to tell somebody how they should work their relationship and how they do it? If they are public people and want to do it, I don't have a problem with it. It ain't me, but that doesn't mean it can't be you. So if that's how you look at it, who doesn't love? Matter of fact, walking one of those bridges, somebody got proposed to right there at like 10 in the morning, and they had a photographer taking the pictures. But they did the action. We were like, whoa, as we watched, we gave them a little round of applause. If that's what you're up for, go and do your thing. So I don't have a problem with it. And the people that do, I'm asking, why do you care? It's not hindering your life. It's not like Justin Verlander has to step off the mound in order to go get to wait for the
pitch clock
proposal.
violation.
Isn't there something to me now becoming an unwitting participant in your whole proposal deal? Like, why?
Block it out. Go get a popcorn.
to the concession
Go to the
stand.
bathroom. If you see it and you're that disgusted by it and don't want to
go
be a
poop.
participant, go leave. Yeah.
I do have a question. I have not seen the video. I do not appear every weekday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:50 like Tausch does. It is cool for him. So his girlfriend / now fiance, who probably had to then bail him out of jail for this, right? She's in the stands. She's watching at home because she did not run onto the field too, right?
Nope.
No, he jumped and he went out there, and I made this reference because it feels like every day we have a Seinfeld reference.
We do.
And they're like, well, it reminded me of the story. Remember when Costanza was trying to date Elaine's coworker, and she thought he was a bad boy? This chick maybe just loved a bad boy. I'm jumping the fence. I'm going to go out and do my proposal there. And that maybe is what happened here. So she seemed to be eating it up, loving it. So
okay, I got to see this video now.
I'm not going to condone somebody jumping it, but that's it. Great form tackle by the security guard.
It was unbelievable.
Head out of it, ran his feet with the tackle, brought him down. Now, granted, he was a sitting duck. I mean, he was kneeling when he did it. But a great head off to the side, ran his feet through the tackle. I don't know if he lifted and placed, but really good form tackle by this young man.
Got a scholarship to USC afterward. All right, I can't wait to see the video. My point is simply, if you're going to take a knee to propose, I would think you'd want to be in closer proximity than in the middle of the center field area, and she's up in the stands. And I understand he didn't bring her down with him. Then they both would have been tackled, injured, and jailed. But I think a little more intimacy is good.
I don't want to get into your personal life too much, but you have a girlfriend, right?
Correct.
Let's say at some point you propose. Is this something, would a public proposal be in the JD Big Cat playbook?
No, I find it extremely tacky and annoying to do this, and especially to make it a public. To make it a viral moment instead of like just like a public thing. Fine, I can deal with, especially like the one you experienced. Those people are minding their own business. You just happen to be there.
Sure.
But when it's the use of this was to go viral for everyone to be shared on the internet.
What if your girlfriend is an influencer?
Well, good for me. She is not and hates the idea of a public proposal. So I dodged.
Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Last one. Let's say that the Green Bay Packers, or I don't know who your team is, the Green Bay Packers say they will pay for your wedding and honeymoon if you do it at Lambeau Field at the 50 during halftime.
But you have to wear an Aaron Rodgers jersey and profess your love for his greatness.
Well,
no, don't get crazy.
It depends on the value of the. Are they taking care of the engagement ring too, and the honeymoon?
I mean,
look at you! Listen to you driving a hard
full wedding and a honeymoon, and you're trying to get him to throw in.
I missed the full wedding thing.
Go over and talk to my friends over at Chalmers Jewelers. They'll hook you up. That part's good. Now, just this. What are we going to do?
I mean, I'm saying yes because I'm never going to leave free money on the table. And I'm just going to tell everyone, hey, I would never do this, but I was given an offer I could not refuse.
And you would do it without telling old girl, right?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think once
I like this, Big Cat.
Once I say, hey, cost of weddings taken care of and honeymoon, I think we could probably be like, all right, yeah.
But not the ring.
I think I got the solution for you.
Okay.
The Miami Marlins have very small crowds. Work it out so then you go down and do it in Miami. So it'd be a smaller crowd, and you'd get everything worked out.
it feels like the time to say, whoa, Joshy.
Whoa, Nelly.
Well, speaking of my girlfriend, we are currently in the beginning process of looking for a home. We met with some of the mortgage person. We are
Stacy Bruner?
Iric?
And this is obviously my first time entering into this. So I've used you guys for tips on gifts in the past.
Not you guys.
Yeah,
Me.
let's
Come
be
on
fair.
now.
What the hell am I doing? What, like, in terms of what am I looking for? Tips? How should I go about this? How picky should I be, etc.?
So I have one tip for you. So you, hopefully, whether it's your lovely girlfriend or you personally, as opposed to me, I had Paula on this. So our house that we live in now, which we love, the people that owned it before us had some sort of obsession with the color blue. So every wall of the house was a different shade of blue. And when I first toured it, I was like, this house sucks. To which Paula said, hey, moron, just paint the walls. And I don't have a really good, this is one of my many failings, I'm not a good visionary.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't picture the walls just a ecru color. But she was right. I mean, and quite frankly, had they painted the walls before they put the house on the market, we probably never would have gotten it, because
Right.
I'm sure they had other people like me. So open your mind. Use your imagination. Picture possibilities, and that might allow you to find the right home.
Is my stance that I've currently taken, and I wanted to make it clear, I imagine she's going to be a lot more picky and have more things that stick out. I'm serving right now as the final rubber stamp. This one's great, let's go for it, and kind of letting all the other stuff be her. I'm willing to offer my opinion, but I'm not going to be the final end. I'm going to be the final end say.
Yeah, I think your role is to bring up important points during the process, and then, yes, once she has found the one she likes, rubber stamp city.
Yeah.
That is it for Whoa Joshi. We will close up the week and close up today with Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Next, it's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Since 1964, Ewald Automotive has been on a journey to make car buying easier for your family. So if you want an easy experience, head to Ewald's 59th anniversary sale. Ewald guarantees the lowest price and includes their exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles. Plus, with live market pricing, you'll never overpay for a used car. Shop over 1,000 vehicles. Ewald's anniversary sale is going on now through month end.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pi customer.
The other workers' comp insurance company, they were going to reclassify our business, and then they were going to charge me $50,000.
Meet Natalie, owner of the carpentry shop. Shocked by an unexpected bill, she knew it was time to switch her workers' comp provider. That's when she found Pi Insurance.
When we got the quote back from Pi, it was a sigh of relief. They put us in a policy where we fit.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypi.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
I'm grateful that there's a company out there that's willing to insure us little guys, because every dollar counts.
With Pi Insurance, you get pricing and coverage made for small businesses. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
College Hoops fans, it's Jen Latta from ESPN. It's almost time to cut down the nets, and Celsius wants to make sure you fuel up for the madness. Visit your local retailer to pick up your favorite Celsius Essential Energy drink. Celsius has 15 different flavors for you to choose from, including Arctic Vibe, Sparkling Lemon Lime, Fantasy Vibe, Strawberry Lemonade, and many more. Bracket already busted? Use Celsius for the essential energy you need. Stay active and energized all day long with Celsius Essential Energy drinks.
Kessler's is America's largest employee-owned diamond store.
It's the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
As shoppers, we want better prices and more choices.
That's why we give you better prices and more choices.
We don't try to choose for you. We let you choose.
You can choose a diamond from a diamond mine.
A diamond as old as the earth itself.
You can choose a created diamond from a plasma chamber.
A diamond as new and fresh and sparkling as springtime.
And now you can choose a flickering firelight diamond.
Flickering firelight diamonds sparkle with a rich and regal golden glow.
At Kessler's, you choose from 3 different kinds of diamonds.
3 different kinds of diamonds.
Earth diamonds from diamond mines.
Created diamonds from plasma chambers.
And flickering firelight diamonds with a rich, regal golden glow.
We like to have choices, so we give you choices.
Kessler's is the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Stock up during the final days of Fleet Farm's fishing and marine event. From apparel to tackle boxes, reel in the deals on everything you need for fishing in one stop. And don't miss this limited time deal. Get free bulk fishing line and line spooling with the purchase of any reel $39.99 or more. This deal is in-store only, so hurry in before it's too late. Get it all during the fishing and marine event, ending soon at Fleet Farm.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durga, walk around the neighborhood.
Time now for Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints, and because of my poor clock management, we only have time for one. But we'll have another Feel Good Friday next Friday. I absolutely loved this story. So Sergio Romo, Tausch, you saw this, right?
I did. Love this story.
Longtime pitcher with the Giants, closing up shop on his terrific 15-year career, 3 World Series titles. And so every time a kid asks Sergio Romo for an autograph during spring training, he asks them to sign his hat first. And so for his last appearance in spring training, which I believe was at San Francisco still, he wore the hat when he pitched. I think he also got a pitch clock violation while he was making his last appearance. But he posted a photo of the hat, and there are all these kids' signatures. And Tausch, both of us having been kids who got autographs and now have kids that love sports, this was awesome. I loved this.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen anyone do that before, but it really brings. You imagine the amount of joy that it brings the kid to be able to sign the hat. A great idea by Sergio, and a really cool story that surfaced this week.
All right, that's it for us this week. Big Cat, you're a Feel Good Friday. Thanks for stepping in for Jesse, who was working on things that he wanted to do more than he wanted to do our show.
Anytime.
We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks to Justin Garcia and Homer, everyone who filled in for me earlier this week. And thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us today. We'll be back on Monday. Take care. Be good.
Feeling blessed.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spring deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
Opening day, not exactly one to remember for the Brewers.
They're on the corner still with 2 out. Pitch, swinging a chopper up the middle. It's going to be a play for Willie Adames coming in. Steps on second base. He could have thrown to first. He didn't, and he didn't get the out at second on Mancini. A run scores.
And 4-0 would end up being the final score as the Brewers fall to the Cubs to open up the